It's time for Arkansas Travelers Baseball on the ticket Total Sports 1380. Arkansas Travelers Baseball is brought to you by Miller Lite, ITT Technical Institute, Coca-Cola, Sonic Drive-In, BC Powder, and by Allstate Insurance. And now for the ITT Technical Institute pregame show. Let's go to the ballpark.
Live from Wichita, Kansas, the Arkansas Travelers are on the air. Hello again, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you listening on the ticket Total Sports 1380, as well as the Travs website, www.travs.com. Phil Elson here with you at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, where tonight Minor League Baseball and the Texas League present your Arkansas Travelers and the Wichita Wranglers in Game 3 of a 4-game series. Welcome to the broadcast here on the ticket Total Sports 1380. Travs looking for their second win in a row after what might have been the best game of the season yesterday. Travs and Wranglers matched horns in 13 innings, with the Travs picking up the victory 7-5. Dallas McPherson providing the game-winning 2-run homer off J.J. Trujillo over the scoreboard in left center field. McPherson's team-leading 11th home run of the season and his 7th homer in his last 12 games. An unbelievable tear McPherson is going on right now. In his last 12 games, Dallas hitting .439, 7 homers, 18 runs batted in. He's already been named the Texas League Player of the Week, and he continues to just rip these Wichita Wranglers. He's had a couple of game-winning homers off of them in the last week. Travs also got good pitching out of the bullpen, which has been the main struggle for the Travs over the past couple weeks, is an inexistent bullpen. Yesterday, the pen really came together, with the exception of Cam Esslinger's blowing a save in the 10th inning. Rich Fisher, a scoreless inning. Steve Andrade, 2 perfect innings. And even after Esslinger gave up the 2 runs in the 10th inning, he pitched the scoreless 11th. Jonathan Rowenhurst picked up the victory, his second of the season, with 2 perfect innings in the 12th and 13th, holding the Wranglers down as the Travs get to a game under 500 at 25-26. They were helped out already today by the Frisco Rough Riders. The Rough Riders and the Tulsa Drillers battling in a doubleheader today, a split doubleheader, 2 9-inning games, 1 at noon, 1 at 7. And the Rough Riders with the victory earlier today against the Tulsa Drillers by the score of 3-1. So that brings the Rough Riders to a tie with the Travs at third place at 25 wins and 26 losses. Just an incredible thing going on in the East Division now, folks, is that there's just 2 games separating 4 teams, with Wichita now in first place by half a game at 27 and 24. The Travs could get to within 1 game of first place with a victory today. And we're going to take a break. When we return, we'll take a look at yesterday's Texas League action and also recap today's action in Tulsa right here on the ITT Tech pregame show and the ticket Total Sports 1380.
My company is currently going through a transition, and I'm part of that transition. I needed new technology, new ideas for a changing market.
Norman Petit earned a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Electronics Engineering Technology in 2002 and a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Automated Manufacturing Technology in 2003 from the ITT Tech in Indianapolis, Indiana.
My education at ITT Tech was the right decision for me.
To find out more about ITT Technical Institute, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web at itt-tech.edu. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future.
It started just like fun, socially. A sweet potato here, a churro there. I mean, what's the big deal? Just a few carbohydrates, right? But then the craving started. Crackers, pancakes, toast points, it didn't matter as long as it had carbs. I started ignoring my friends and family unless they had just made lasagna. Luckily, that's when my bartender told me about Miller Lite. With half the carbs of Bud Light, you can enjoy a great-tasting, less-filling beer without having to ride the C train. Don't let carbs ruin your life. Miller, good call.
For 12 ounces, Miller Lite contains 3.2 grams carbohydrates. Bud Light contains 6.6 grams. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Ed and I sell soft drinks at ball games, and he first told me about BC Powder. We carry big trays of drinks up and down the stadium staff. Man, it's a killer. And with a backache, that tray feels heavier and heavier. And the stairs are tough on your knees. One night I was dragging, and the game wasn't half over. I told Brian he needs the BC to stop the pain fast, because it goes to work quick. BC stopped the pain, got me right back to work. BC goes down easy with a soft drink, but don't fail the ball. Okay?
BC, pain relief at the speed of powder. Use as directed.
And welcome back to Wichita's Lawrence Dumont Stadium along the banks of the Arkansas River. Phil Elson with you on the ITT Technical Institute pregame show. Don't forget, folks, that ITT Tech has their new session opening up next week at their campus on University Avenue, and you can give them a call at area code 501-565-5550, or just go online to itt-tech.edu to learn about some of their incredible programs over there. Again, it's ITT Technical Institute, 501-565-5550, or itt-tech.edu. Let's take a look around the Texas League. And yesterday, the Round Rock Express continue their winning ways. They make it a clean baker's dozen in a row with a victory at El Paso by the score of 6-5. Ivan Coffey hit a two-run homer, his fifth homer of the season. Coffey only has 6 singles on the year and 5 homers. Tommy Whiteman added a couple of RBIs. Junior Zamora a double and 2 runs scored. And the Express got outstanding work from their bullpen. Philip Barzilla held the Diablos to 1 hit over 2 2/3 scoreless relief innings. He picks up his 3rd win of the season. Mike Burns struck out 2 in a perfect 8. Santiago Ramirez stranded the tying run on base for his league-leading 18th save. Scott Barber took the loss in a good appearance for El Paso. The Diablos dropped to a league worst 16-35, while Round Rock is 11.5 games ahead of second-place Midland with just 18 games to go. So they've pretty much cinched up, although it's not mathematically finished yet. You might as well just say it is finished. Midland Rockhounds yesterday lost to San Antonio. That ended the Mission's 8-game losing streak. The final score, San Antonio 6, Midland 2. Mission's got a homer from Hunter Brown, his 5th of the year, 2 RBIs from Greg Jacobs, and a strong 5-inning performance from Juan Doan. The right-hander picked up his 4th win of the season. Dane Camine dropped to 3-3 as the losing pitcher for the Rockhounds. Only one team in the West Division has a record better than 500. That's Round Rock at 37-15. Then Midland coming up at second place at 25-26. Folks, it's pretty much over in the West Division. The East Division, that's a different story. Right now, there are 2 games separating first place Wichita from the 2 third-place teams, your Travs and the Frisco Rough Riders. Yesterday, in the first game of a 4-game series, Frisco down Tulsa 4-3. Winning pitcher was Chris Young. 2 RBIs from DH of the Rough Riders, Andrew Bindrink, who finished 2 for 5 with a double and the 2 runs batted in. Drew Meyer, 2 hits and a couple of runs scored. The Drillers got a homer from Juan Pinella, his 5th of the season, but Zach Parker took the loss, dropping to 2-4. The Drillers commit 3 errors in that game, leading to 3 unearned runs, and that was the margin of victory. Billy Sylvester struck out 4 batters in an inning and a third for the Rough Riders, his 6th of the season, and the Frisco team also picked up a win in the first game of a split doubleheader today. Rough Riders 3, Drillers 1. They'll be starting the second game in about 10 minutes. Today it was Meyer tripling amongst the single as well. He knocked in 2 runs. Jason Bourgeois with a double and Josh McKinley a 3-base hit. The Rough Riders got outstanding work from their starting pitcher, Eric Thompson, as he limited the Drillers to just 3 hits over 7 innings. He allowed 1 run on the solo homer by Ryan Shealy. Thompson did not walk anybody. He struck out 5, but he did not pick up the win. Stephen Rowe got the win in relief for the scoreless 8th inning. He's 4-0. Billy Sylvester nailed down the 9th inning with 1 strikeout. He saved his 7th of the year. Emmanuel Ramirez took the loss as he drops to 1-4. So that means that the Wranglers currently hold the lead in the East Division by a half a game ahead of the Drillers. The Travs currently 2 games in back of Wichita, a game and a half in back of Tulsa. And tonight in the Texas League, there's going to be that second game at Driller Stadium. Starting pitchers are Jeff Francis for the Drillers, the league's best pitcher at 7-0. Kelvin Jimenez pitches for the Rough Riders. San Antonio and Midland out at Wolf Stadium. Brad White, the left-hander with a 2-4 record, pitches for the Rockhounds. The Missions did not announce their starting pitcher. And Round Rock at El Paso, the Express looking for their 14th win in a row. They take on the last place Diablos. Righty Ezekiel Astacio pitches for the Express. He's 5-4. William Juarez, the starting pitcher for the Diablos. His record is 1-2. We will be updating you on those games as well as games from across the major leagues on the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard continuously through our game tonight. Right now, we'll take another break on the ITT Tech pregame show. We will return with a sit-down interview with Trav's left-handed relief pitcher Jonathan Rowenhurst. He picked up the win yesterday. We'll talk with Jonathan right after this break on the Ticket, Total Sports 1380.
Frank, what are you doing here? Wife sent me. We're out of Coke. You? Sorry.
First one to aisle 5 like the other.
Yeah, you're on. Tell Tony Stewart he jumped the green flag again. Hey, stop
throwing cereal boxes at me. Whatever, stop trapping my car.
Won't fit.
Looks like you're buying me that Coke.
NASCAR fans have a one-track mind.
Jason Coke says I need you to register.
Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real.
Introducing Fresh Taste Salad from Sonic. Has been made to order by hand with care for your very own Fresh Taste Salad. At Sonic, we make them the way you'd make them at home, if you have the time. We start with the freshest ingredients, add your choice of tender grilled chicken, crispy jumbo popcorn chicken, or Santa Fe grilled chicken. You even get your pick of your favorite Hidden Valley dressings. So try a new Fresh Taste Salad from Sonic today. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Synonymous. Words alike in significance and meaning, like summer and baseball. Baseball and Ray Winter Field. Ray Winter Field and hot dogs. Hot dogs and Coca-Cola. Yes, Coke is joining the Travs All-Star lineup this summer right alongside the future Anaheim Angels wearing the Travelers uniform. Enjoy the best value in family entertainment in Central Arkansas. Ray Winter Field, the Arkansas Travelers, and Coke. 3 summer classics. Call 664-1555 or visit our website at travs.com.
Welcome back to the ITT Technical Institute pregame show here on the Ticket Total Sports 1380. A gorgeous early evening out here in Wichita. The Travs look to take their second win in a row. Yesterday, one of the best games of the season, and the winning pitcher was Jonathan Rowenhurst. And Jonathan, a couple perfect innings yesterday. Last couple outings, 3 perfect innings. The bullpen's been inconsistent, and one thing I want to ask about, when it comes to being a relief pitcher, how much do you want to pitch each week to stay fresh? Because I imagine that sometimes sitting in a bullpen during the ball game, you can get a little bit stiff, and sometimes it can be tough to just get thrown right into a game.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on each person, how much they like to throw in between getting in the game or just throwing on the side. Usually if you're not getting in the game, very often during the week, you'll get a little side work just to try to stay fresh and keep your pitches sharp.
What's important for you? How often do you want to throw during the week? And sort of an aside question to that is, no matter how much you throw during batting practice or on the side, is that really any sort of replacement for game situations?
I personally, I don't need to throw a whole lot. Like I'll usually get in probably 2-3 times a week in the game, and that's usually good for me. And I'll take my days off whenever I can get them. And as far as throwing on the side, that's it should be good enough to keep yourself sharp and be ready to go for whenever they call on you.
Now that keeps your body sharp. Does it help keep your mind sharp as well? Because obviously you're coming in mostly in late inning situations when the pressure is on.
It's a bit different, but usually once you get in the game, you're pretty focused and your mind's set on what you have to do.
Jonathan, the few times we've spoken, you do come across as a very easygoing, laid-back kind of a guy. You're from Southern California. Most people from there seem to be like that. And a lot of people would envision late-inning relievers being very intense. Sometimes they even might use the word nasty. Do you change at all when you take the ball on the pitcher's mound?
I would think so. Just, get more serious. And, of course, when you're in a close game, you got to take things real serious and do the best you can because, it's a pressure situation. But, you kind of change your whole mindset once you get in the game. Once you're out, you just kind of, outside the game, you're just waiting and kind of trying to stay relaxed. But in the game, you get ready.
Is it something that you consciously are doing, or is it just, once you step in there, did it just automatically happen?
I would say it more just happens. You don't really have to think about it. It's just kind of, you step on the mound and it's time to pitch and do your job.
Talking with Jonathan Rowenhurst, I think you have the day off today. You've pitched a couple days in a row. Are you available for tonight's game?
It's possible. I'll have to wait and see how I feel playing catch, see if the arm's all right.
Yeah, and who knows, we could go another 13 innings, and then I guess anything's possible after that. As I mentioned, Jonathan picked up the win yesterday, and that broke the 4-game losing streak for the Travs. Jonathan also grew up in Anaheim, and it's got to be thrilling to play for one of the Southern California teams, but I assumed that he was an Angels fan growing up. I couldn't have been more wrong. Jonathan was a Dodgers fan. How'd that happen?
Just growing up with my dad, he was a real big baseball fan, and he always loved the Dodgers, so I just kind of followed his footsteps and liked them too, and then grew to love baseball.
Now, did you go to many Angel games at all, or did you pretty much just ticket at Dodger Stadium?
We went to both, actually, just, whenever we got the chance to catch a game, but we'd go to either game.
And you'd root for the Angels if you're over there, right? You're not one of the people that would root against them.
Oh, sure, definitely.
Okay. I actually have a friend of mine who lives in New York who wears a T-shirt. One side has the Yankees emblem, the other side has the Mets emblem, and depending on what ballpark he's at, he wears that side to the front. So you're not one of the people that'll root against him, and I like that. You've got two teams in the area. You might as well root for both of them. Yeah. But tell me the story. How you ended up becoming a member of the Angels organization? I know you went undrafted out of Biola College. So what's the process after the draft? If you don't get selected, what happens?
Well, what I did is I started going to just local tryouts that were around me, just trying to find any team to pick me up so I could play. And I actually had one of my best friends, his dad knew Daryl Miller when he was still with the Angels, and he kind of set up a tryout for me, and I pitched for him one day, and they ended up signing me.
And Daryl Miller, of course, used to be the farm director of the Angels, back in baseball now as a broadcaster for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, the team that you pitched for last year. What was it like pitching pretty much in your hometown last year? I know Rancho Cucamonga is not your hometown, but it's about an hour away from Anaheim. And did you live at home?
I actually lived with some relatives that actually lived in Rancho, and it was nice to be home. I could see a lot of my family and friends, and they got to come see me play a few times too.
So this season couldn't be any different. It's got to be a thrill to be promoted to Double-A, but at the same time, you're in some cities that I'm not sure if you've been out in these towns before, but it's not Southern California.
Yeah, it's definitely a new experience, but I was fortunate to have my wife. She's able to come out and be with me in Little Rock, so when we're at home, I get to see her all the time, and that helps a lot.
No doubt about it. Jonathan, thanks a lot for your time. I've had a good season so far, and hopefully continued success for the season.
All right, thank you.
We'll be right back after this. We'll run down the starting lineup on the ticket, Total Sports 1380.
Ameripride Services is the linen and apparel company to get your team into a professional uniform program. Ameripride features a wide range of high-quality custom programs for the manufacturing industry, hospitality and food service, medical or dental uniforms, and professional and executive wear. Call 664-5575 to schedule a presentation with an Ameripride consultant. Also specializing in the finest quality table linen, rental mat, and restroom services. Call 664-5575 for Ameripride, the official garment supplier of the Arkansas Travelers. He joined the Air Force in 1964 and served in Vietnam. He commanded forces in the far corners of the globe. Rising through the ranks, he served as a 3-star general at the Pentagon. You'd think 30 years of distinguished service would be plenty. But if you're Norman G. Leasy, Lieutenant General, retired United States Air Force, that's just the beginning. Today, he's pursuing a new career as Walmart's Vice President of National Government Relations. Norm's journey took him near and far, through Asia, Scandinavia, Europe, the Middle East, and Webster University, where he earned a master's degree that served him well in his career. I'm Bob Costas, member of the board of Webster University. All Webster campuses around the world share the same belief. Education is more than just a degree. It's real knowledge, real-world success.
For more information about graduate degrees from Webster University in Little Rock, visit them on the web at webster.edu or call them 800-828-2598.
You're listening to Arkansas Travelers Baseball on the ticket, Total Sports 1380, KDXE, North Little.
Welcome back to Lawrence Dumont Stadium along the banks of the Arkansas River, downtown Wichita, right across that river. Gorgeous night for baseball out here in Wichita. Right now it's about 87 degrees. There is zero chance of rain today, and it looks like we are in for a beautiful night out here in Wichita, Kansas. Welcome back to Lawrence Dumont Stadium, and let's head down to the starting lineup, beginning with the hometown Wranglers. They come in with a record of 27 and 24. Currently the first place team by half a game. They have Jim Terrell leading off. Terrell, the designated hitter. Batting second is Ruben Gotay. He'll be at second base. Dee Brown hits third to play left field. Cleaning up is the first baseman, Chad Santos. He's the Wranglers leader with 10 homers. Hitting fifth, Justin Gumal. He'll be at third base today. Had a 4-hit game last night. Jaime Jones back sixth. He'll be in right field with Scott Walter hitting seventh as the catcher. Corey Aldridge starting in center field with bat eighth. Andres Blanco bats ninth. He'll be at shortstop. Now the lineup for the Arkansas Travelers. It is Alberto Callaspo leading off at shortstop. Batting second is the center fielder Tommy Murphy. Nick Gorneault hits third. He'll be in right field. Dallas McPherson to clean up tonight. He'll be at third base with Jeff Mathis hitting fifth as the DH. Mathis ejected for the first time in his career yesterday. Rudy Gomez batting sixth. He'll be at second base with Mike Elward batting in the seventh spot. Elward plays first base. Brent Del Chiaro bats eighth. Del Chiaro the starting catcher today, and Carlos Duncan rounds out the starting nine. Duncan will be positioned in left field. Starting pitchers for tonight's action. A couple of right-handers going at each other. For the Travs, Ervin Santana, one of the top pitching prospects in the minors. Certainly right now the top pitching prospect for the Anaheim Angels. Santana makes his fourth start of the season. His record 1-0, 329 earned run average. He's had his pitch count raised to about 90 pitches today, and hopefully that means he'll be able to go more than the 4 innings that he gave the Travs just 5 days ago at Frisco in a game that the Travs lost, and Santana allowed 2 runs in 4 innings. Taking the hill tonight for the Wranglers, right-hander Danny Tamayo. It's his 8th start with the Wranglers and his third since being brought back up from Wilmington, Delaware. Tamayo did not start the season very well, had an ERA in April of 6.04, but in his 2 starts in May, he's allowed only 4 runs in 10 2/3 innings. His record 1-1 in May. Overall, Tamayo 2-3 and a 5.18 earned run average. Should be a good game tonight at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The Travs looking to even their record at 26-26. The Wranglers are looking to stay atop the East Division in a tightly packed division where 2 games separate all 4 teams. Right now, we'll turn up the crowd microphone. There is a large chorus of men who are going to sing the Star Spangled Banner. Nicely done out at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The Star Spangled Banner performed by a group of men wearing a uniform consisting of black and gold. They look like the Pittsburgh Pirates out there. Either that or they're trying to dress up like bumblebees. Halloween is a few months off. Well, we're set for baseball at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Game 52 of the season. Folks, there's only 18 games left here in the first half, and we are coming down to pay dirt coming up soon. It is going to be a very exciting last 2 weeks of the first half of the season as 2 games separate first from last place. After today's game, the Travs have 1 more game left against the East Division. They finish off the season, the first half of the season, I should say, until the All-Star break with 8 games against Round Rock, the hottest team in all of AA baseball, and the San Antonio Missions, the 2-time Texas League champions. Meanwhile, the Wichita Wranglers and who's the other team going to be facing them? The Tulsa Drillers and the Wranglers are going to be battling against the Midland Rockhounds and the El Paso Diablos. So it's Tulsa and Wichita that will be making the West Texas trip. The Travs and the Rough Riders head into Central Texas. So you would think that the teams that have to play Round Rock, the Travs and the Rough Riders, actually have the tougher road to go because they're taking on a team that at this point has won 13 consecutive games and 35-17 record. The Round Rock Express certainly could be a thorn in the side of both the Travs and the Frisco Rough Riders. And we'll be seeing Round Rock this Friday at Ray Winder Field as the Travs return to Little Rock for an 8-game homestand. 4 versus Round Rock, 4 versus San Antonio. Midget wrestling on Friday night starting at 7:10. The replica jerseys for the first 1,000 paid kids 14 and under on Saturday. and the Jim Elder Good Sport Fund Kids Clinic Sunday afternoon, which starts at 12:45. That's a 2 o'clock game time. Right now, focusing on June the 1st, as the first pitch of the game is fouled off the left side by Alberto Callaspo. And we are underway tonight at 7:07 in the evening. 84 degrees at game time. Virtually no wind to speak of, as 2 days in a row, the flags have been lying limp on the pole. Alberto batting left-handed, and Tamayo with a fastball low and in, 1-1. Wind is only blowing at 5 miles an hour, and really no gusts. Humidity 27%. Virtually unlimited visibility. A gorgeous night for baseball here in Wichita. Here's the 1-1, and Alberto sends it to first, and past the first baseman Santos. He was in position for it, but the ball gets down the right field line, and heading into second is Callaspo, and he is in there. Santos had him positioned the right way. He was playing behind the bag, and Alberto smoked it behind the bag, but Santos, who was in front of the ball, couldn't field it, got between his legs, and that's going to be a judgment call on the official score. Either the 10th double of the season for Alberto Callaspo, or it's going to be an error on Chad Santos. It'll be his 5th of the year. And they put it up on the scoreboard as an error, so no base hit for Callaspo, a 2-base error by the first baseman Santos. That opens the door for the Trabs. Tommy Murphy steps into the plate. Murphy shows bunt and takes low and away. Late in the game yesterday, in fact in the 8th inning when the Trabs made their comeback from 2 runs behind, Murphy hit a double play grounder to the third baseman Justin Gamal that he booted, and instead of an inning-ending double play, Murphy reached base, and the Trabs had a little breathing room and got the 2-run triple by Nick Gorneault to tie it up. So they took advantage of the Wranglers' error yesterday and see if they can do it in the first inning here. Catcher Scott Walter was out of the mound for a couple of seconds, chatting with Tamayo. Murphy steps back into the plate. The count is 1-0. Third baseman Gamal in front of the sliding pit. He anticipates the bunt. First baseman Santos behind the bag. Murphy, batting left-handed, does not square around and takes the pitch outside. Andres Blanco, the shortstop, he's the one holding Callaspo to second. Second baseman Gotay at normal depth. Same as Santos at first. Outfield short all the way around. Brown at left, Aldridge in center, Jones in right. Murphy sends one foul down the third base line. Very close. A hard shot that third base umpire Chris Tiller didn't hesitate on. Balls and strikes tonight called by Jason Kaiser. He's a crew chief. And over at first base is Toshi Uchikawa. Murphy stepping back in. Last night, 2 hits, a double, scored 3 runs. Reached on an error and an intentional walk. Murphy hitting .283, 5 homers, 24 runs batted in. Got that slightly open stance. He's been wearing a little armor on his right shin. Hold the bat back to Mayo to stretch. The 2-1 pitch, then high down the left field line. It slices foul and bounces towards the fence. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count on consecutive foul balls by Murphy. Well, the ballpark's going to be a lot quieter today than it was yesterday here in Wichita. Free tickets available around town yesterday for the Wrangler fans, and they came out with their largest crowd of the season. Now 5,117 were at the ballpark for a great game. I found it even more interesting that on a free night, they went extra innings. Free baseball for fans who didn't pay to get in. 2-2 pitch to Murphy. High and outside, and he runs the count full, 3-2. Tamayo is not a hard thrower, but he does have pretty good command, good breaking stuff, good changeup. But Tamayo will not overpower hitters. 31 strikeouts, 33 innings, 14 walks, but he allowed the batting average of .348. Pitch in the dirt to Murphy, ball 4, and the first 2 batters of the game reach base.
And that brings him number 24, Nick Gorneault. Tonight's fourth Chicago Kings.
So the 15th walk issued by Tamayo, and the Trabs in business in the first inning. Callaspo reached on the 2-base error by the first baseman Santos. And Murphy on the 14th walk he's drawn this year. Mentioned Tamayo, not very overpowering. His fastball tops at 89. Curveball and changeup are his other pitches. Here's Nick Gorneault stepping in. Nick hitting .310, 6 homers, 30 RBIs. Third baseman Gamal anticipating a bunt again. And they'll put the wheel play on to throw to second, and that's Callaspo who gets back in there. We saw Gorneault attempt to bunt in the 13th inning yesterday following McPherson's game-winning homer. Gorneault failed to get the bunt down. We'll see if Ty Boykin has him work on it again. Nick last night hit the game-tying triple in the 8th inning. His second three-bagger. The stretch to Miles to the plate. Nick takes the pitch low and in. He did not square around. Just underway in Wichita. Game 3 of a 4-game series. Travs dropped the opener of this series. Wranglers won that game by the score of 5-4. Travs came back yesterday, 7-5 winners. Curveball hung to Gorneault, but he pops it into the first base seat. Just missed that one. 1-1 the count. One of the other reasons that the ballpark was so loud last night was the cacophony of video bits playing on the video board at the scoreboard in center field. With a packed house, they were trying to entertain them. And I think that scoreboard's going to be a little bit quieter today. There's just a couple hundred people here. Nick swings, bounces towards third. Could be two. Gamal kicks it. The second time he's kicked a double play ball in 2 days. Everybody's safe. They're loaded up. Oh, boy, a perfect double play ball right to Gamal. And it wasn't even a sharply hit grounder. Just one of those bouncing balls that took 2 hops right to Gamal. And just like yesterday, he kicks it and turns what should have been a double play into a real chance for the Travs not just to take a lead, but break the game open with Dallas McPherson coming up. McPherson has his intro music played for him, as we've seen here the last 3 or 4 nights. Frisco was playing the Dallas theme song. Now Wichita has been as well. Dallas actually likes hearing that. Good music when he comes up to the plate. Big left-handed hitter, leads the team, 11 homers, 41 RBIs, and he takes outside for a ball. Travs has not had a grand slam hit this season. And it'd just be perfect to have McPherson crack the first one. He hit 7 homers in his last 12 games. .439 average over that stretch. The pitch, and it's downstairs and outside, ball 2. Well, the stage is certainly set. Fastball count. Bases are loaded. McPherson's at the plate. We'll see what Tamayo comes with. He does have a good changeup, and he could cross McPherson up if he throws it. Infield ready to turn to. Tamayo, a long pause. I'm not sure if he even wants to throw. Into the stretch he goes. The kick, the pitch. Swung on and popped into the third base seat. That was a good pitch for Dallas to go after. A fastball at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike on McPherson. With his 2 RBIs yesterday, Dallas is now 1 behind the league leader. Round Rock's Todd Self has knocked in 42. McPherson has raised his slugging percentage to a league best 622. Almost 40 points higher, actually almost 60 points higher than the number 2 man, Jason Bottas Frisco. The 2-1, the changeup, and McPherson fouls it back. And the count is 2-2. McPherson ranking also in the league categories in hits, doubles, 15 doubles, ranked 3rd, extra base hits, 31, that leads the league. 405 slugging percentage, 7th highest in the, 405 on base percentage, 7th highest in the league. As the base is loaded, Tamayo, another long look at the sign. He's trying to slow things down. The stretch, the pitch, swinging a line drive, center field, and that is down. Base hit. Here comes Callaspo to score. Murphy around third to score. 2-0 Travs, and McPherson takes over the league lead in RBIs. He just does not stop hitting, folks. 2-0 Arkansas. On to third base went Gorneault. McPherson made a long turn around first base and retreated back into the bag. Travs at the corners and nobody out. Although, to be honest, there should be at least 2 outs by now. There have been 2 errors committed. One on the first batter of the game. Callaspo was grounded to first, mishandled by Santos. And Gorneault's double play grounded to third was picked by Gamal. Still nobody out for Jeff Mathis, the Trav's DH, right-handed hitter. And he takes a pitch in the dirt for a ball. Both of these runs will be unearned. Tamayo had only given up one unearned run all season. And now he's given up two in the first inning today. Infield is going to play back for a double play. They'll let another run score. Mathis at 293. And the pitch to him is a strike at the knees. 1-1. Last night, Mathis went 0 for 4. Grounded into a double play and was called out on strikes in the 8th inning. And then he was ejected promptly by the home plate umpire, Chris Tiller, for firing down his bat and saying a few choice words. The 1-1 is fouled off right on his hands, and Mathis has a 1-2 count. Jeff has been playing pro baseball since the 2001 season, and last night, the first time that he's been ejected. If you've ever had a chance to talk with Jeff, he's a very easygoing, laid-back Southern kid. And last night, he was not laid back. Throw to first base, and McPherson dives in safely. Jeff did say he did lose his composure. That's not much like him, but he also tried to put the situation into perspective. He's been in a bit of a slump these days. Had a chance to drive in a go-ahead run to help break a 4-game losing streak. So all the factors led to Mathis just losing his cool. Back in the lineup today is the DH, Del Chiaro, the starting catcher. 2-0 Travs in the top of the first. No outs. Men at the corners. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch to Mathis. Swung on, hit at center. Coming in Aldridge. This might score Gorneault. Aldridge makes the catch. Gorneault tags, and the throw goes to second base. Gorneault scores standing up. And it's 3-0 Travs, and Mathis knocks in his 29th. So the Wranglers open the door for the Travs in the first inning with 2 errors. And the Travs walk right through that door, and so far they're starting to break the door down. Here's Rudy Gomez. Rudy loves to hear this. After hearing it 5 times yesterday, the Rudy bit from the famous movie starring Sean Astin was played during 5 of his 6 at-bats yesterday, and I thought he'd have been sick of it. First pitch strike down the middle, and the count 0-1. But Rudy actually likes that. I think he might want that at Ray Winder Field, folks. If you're listening and you come to the ballpark at Ray Winder Field, when Rudy comes to the plate, just start chanting it. He likes it. Worked for him yesterday, had a couple of hits, and he takes another strike down the middle, 0-2. Rudy said ever since that movie came out, and I think this goes for most people named Rudy, he's been given chants of Rudy ever since. Throw to first base, McPherson gets back. The thing is Rudy's name isn't even Rudy. His real name is Rodolfo. I think you got to roll your R's when you try that. Rodolfo. About as Spanish as I can get. The 0-2. Off the outside corner, ball 1. 3-0 Arkansas. Here in the first inning, McPherson a 2-run single. Mathis a sac fly. McPherson with 43 runs batted in, now the league leader. Gomez yesterday, couple of hits, 6 at-bats. He's hitting 10 of the last 11. And he fouls a pitch back to the screen right up this way. Still 1-2 on Rodolfo. Gomez hitting .283, 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. 6 of his runs batted in have come against Wichita. He really hit very well against the Wranglers. Tamayo was stretched with 1 out. McPherson a short lead, and he throws over anyway. Tamayo pitched well in his last outing. In fact, his last 2 outings has allowed just 4 runs in 10 2/3. Pitch downstairs to Gomez, and that evens the count at 2-2. Tamayo took a loss, losing 3-0 to the Drillers 5 days ago. That was a game in which Danny Tamayo also had to face Jeff Francis, the top pitcher in the Texas League, who picked up his 7th win against Wichita with a complete game shutout. Gomez, a soft fly to right, it's down, base hit. second hit of the inning and still just one away. On to second goes McPherson. Good piece of hitting by Rudy Gomez. At an 0-2 count, works it to a 2-2 count, and then singles into right field. And the Travs bring up Mike Elworth. Already 3-0 Travs, and here comes the pitching coach, Larry Carter, out to talk with Tamayo. Tamayo had not pitched well in his first 4 starts. His best appearance was a 9-1 win at Frisco, in which he held the Rough Riders to 8 hits over 6 innings with 1 run scored. But the Travs had really done some damage on Tamayo. Beat him 9-0 this second game of the year, scoring 2 runs on 7 hits and 3 2/3. And they also beat Tamayo on the first Monday morning game of the season, April 19th, 10-5. Casey Kochman owned Tamayo that day with a 2-run homer, a 2-run double. Travs went on to win that game 10-5. And then in his final 2 starts in April, Tamayo gave up 7 runs in just over 8 innings and was demoted to Wilmington, Delaware, where he did not pitch well in 3 starts there. Came back up to Double-A as there was an injury to Eric Thompson. Here's Mike Elworth, and he'll take a pitch at the lead for a strike. 0-1. Thompson was supposed to be in the starting rotation for the Wranglers this year, but injuries cutting his season short. He's still with the team and should be able to come off the disabled list in a couple of weeks. 0-1 count. Elworth swings at a pitch, fly to left field. Back Brown, still going back at the warning track. He's got it for the second out of the inning. Runners will tag on to third. McPherson to second base is Gomez, and he just beats the throw to second. Heads up base running by Rudy Gomez as he saw McPherson take off from second, and Gomez tags up, goes from first to second on a fly to the left field track. So Elworth's slump continues. Mike just 2 for 24 this road trip, but he does move the runners up. McPherson to third, Gomez to second for catcher Brent Del Chiaro. 3 runs are in. 2 men in scoring position. Del Chiaro hits .297. Tamayo to stretch, and a fastball for a strike on the inside corner. Del Chiaro filled in for Mathis last night after the ejection. Went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Did catch a strong final 6 innings. Hasn't had a hit over this road trip, however. 0 for 6. Take a pitch down and away from Tamayo, 1-1. 3 unearned runs coming across the plate here in the first inning. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Del Chiaro out ahead of a curveball. And barely finished that swing. The count is 1-2. 2 outs, first base open. Del Chiaro scuffling at the plate right now. Tamayo trying to just get into the bottom of the first. For the Wranglers have even had a chance to hit. They're down 3. A stretch by Tamayo. The kick, the pitch. Swung on, popped into the first base seats as Del Chiaro stays alive. Brent back in a home state of sorts. Del is a native Californian, but played his college ball as a Jayhawk with the University of Kansas. And is still mentioned in the paper, and the Wichita Eagle. The 1-2, and that's called for strike 3. A fastball at the knees will end the first inning, but the Travs send 8 runners to the plate in the first to score 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 big errors, and 2 runners left in scoring position. 3-0 Travs. Bottom of the first coming up on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Did you know that more than 250 Argentines are currently awaiting an order from Vietnam?
There's a story involving Yogi Berra, the well-known catcher for the New York Yankees, and Hank Aaron, who at the time was the chief power hitter for the Milwaukee Braves. The teams were playing in the World Series, and as usual, Yogi was keeping up his ceaseless chatter, intending to pep up his teammates on the one hand and distract the Milwaukee batters on the other. As Aaron came to the plate, Yogi tried to distract him by saying, "Henry, you're holding the bat wrong. You're supposed to hold it so you can read the trademark." Aaron didn't say anything, but when the next pitch came up, he hit it into the left field bleachers. After rounding the bases and touching home plate, Aaron looked at Yogi Berra and said, "I didn't come up here to read. I'm Mark Evans." pastor of the Church of Rock Creek. To be successful in life, you know you've got to know why you're standing in the place.
Did you know that more than 250 Arkansans are currently awaiting an organ transplant? And did you know that every 16 minutes, a new name is added to the organ transplant waiting list? You can help to reduce these numbers. To become an organ, call the Arkansas 66-660-5433 or visit the Aurora website at www.arora.org to learn more. Become an organ donor.
The Arkansas Travelers rally for 3 runs in the top of the first inning to take an early lead out here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. I'm Phil Elson with you here on the ticket. Total Sports 1380, game number 7 of this road trip. Travs went to 1-3. They're 1-1 in Wichita. And here's Ervin Santana of the year in a Travs uniform. His record 1-0. Tall right-hander from the public fires a fastball and a late swing by Terrell. Hits it out of play on the left side, strike 1. Terrell, I should say, not Terrell. Left-handed batter. It's 230. We haven't seen him in the first 2 games of this series, and he takes the ball down and away. Key for Santana is to get out of the first inning without allowing a run. First inning's been one of his roughest innings. And a fastball blown right by Terrell, swinging a miss. 2-2. Ervin at 80 should be up to about 90 to 100 today. The wind up to 2-2. Fouled back on a fastball, and the count remains 2-2. Ervin did strike out 7 batters in 4 innings last time against the Frisco Rough Riders. But with Santana only working the 4 innings, the Travs bullpen gave up a lead and lost 10-6. Terrell sends a grounder slow over the mound. Callaspo from short has it go underneath his glove and into center field. Callaspo was there to field it, and he had his momentum carrying him to first base. That should be an error, and it has been charged as an error on Alberto Callaspo. Well, folks, yesterday there were only 2 errors in a 13-inning game. We have now had 3 errors committed, and we're only in the bottom of the first inning. We saw one of the best games of the season yesterday. Perhaps today might be one of those sloppy, bad-looking, ugly games. Here's Ruben Gotay, switch hitting, second baseman. He has pounded the ball against the Travs. He'll take the first pitch high and away. Gotay hits .279 this year, 4 homers, 21 runs batted in. Against the Travs, he hits .302 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. So the bulk of his top games have come against the Travs. Ball 2 high and outside from Santana. We didn't see Ervin go to the slider that much against Terrell. And that, although he does have a fastball in the low to mid-90s, the slider is Ervin's best pitch. And he does go to it with 2 strikes quite often. We were expecting to see it. The stretch and the pitch, a 2-0 fastball at the letters for a called strike. A couple RBIs for Gotay yesterday. A 2-run double in the 5th inning, which gave the Wranglers a 3-0 lead. He later doubled with 2 outs in the 11th, representing what would have been the winning run. But Scott Walter could not bring him in. A stretch and the count 2-1. Santana kicks and deals. Fastball fouled away. Got it right in Gotay's pitch, and he pops it over the press box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-0 Travs. That's your score in the bottom of the first. The Wranglers' first baseman Chad Santos committed an error on the very first play of the game. Justin Gamal booted a possible double play ball. And the Travs took that opportunity to put up 3 runs. Here's the 2-2. Gotay swings. A soft line drive caught by Elward at first base. Hustling back to first, Terrell. 1 out. Ball not hit very well by Gotay, as Santana has thrown nothing but fastballs so far. Hey, when you get a fastball up to 95 miles an hour, why not? But still, that's one of the things that makes Santana so unhittable sometimes, is that he's got 2 legitimate out pitches that he can throw with 2 strikes. Nobody can sit on a fastball or a slider expecting it with 2 strikes, because Ervin can just go to the other pitch and cross him up. Here's Dee Brown, left-handed batter, hitting .293. First pitch, a changeup and a swing and a miss for a strike. Brown last night 1 for 5. Scored one of the runs in the 10th inning when the Wranglers came from 2 runs back, and was intentionally walked after Gotay's 11th inning double. And the strategy worked as Walter was called out on strikes. Change up, another swing and a miss. After that, looked like the slider that Brown yanked his head on. The count moves to 0-2. One out in the bottom of the first inning. Terrell reached on an error by Callaspo to start this inning. That's Alberto's 8th error of the season. All of them came in the month of May. The stretch and the 0-2 to Brown fouled back. Came with a fastball, and Brown just got a piece of it. Still a little bit in front. Still 0-2 on the left fielder, Dee Brown. He's 3 for 9 over the series. Game-tying 2-run homer on Sunday in the 6th inning against Marco Sullivan. Count 0-2. Good lead at first by Terrell. The pitch is fouled away once again. There's been 2 swings and misses, 2 foul balls. The count remains 0-2. The shadow's starting to stretch a little bit already. The light pole, which sits way past the left field corner, is stretching all the way to the right field fence. The shadow's getting long now. It's on right in Mike Elward's eyes as he crouches down at first base, holding on Terrell. The 0-2 is a high fastball. Good idea by Santana to throw one out of the zone and see if Brown chases it. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield wants a double play. The set. The pitch. Called strike 3. Inside corner. Brown doesn't like that call and walks in front of the home plate umpire, Kaiser. But Brown not showing Kaiser up. He never really even made a motion towards him, but he did let everyone know that he was pretty unhappy with that strike call. It was a borderline strike that might have been on the black inside. So Santana ranks down his first strikeout of the ball game. It's his 19th of the year and only 14 in the 3rd inning. 14 hits, his .259 average. Santana has not had a homer hit off of him. Here's Chad Santos, and a first pitch line drive over shortstop to left center. Duncan in the gap, he'll cut it off. 1 base for Terrell, he's at second. And Chad Santos has his second base hit of the series. The other was a solo home run last night. We'll bring up Justin Gumal, who had his finest game of the season last night. He went 4 for 6 with a game-tying 2-run triple in the 10th inning when the Wranglers were down to their final out and their final strike. It's that triple to right center with an 0-2 count against Cam Esslinger. Right-handed batter who committed a big error in the top of the first inning to open the door for the Trabs. And the first pitch is high and inside and jumps off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes on Gumal. He hit .259. The 4 hits yesterday raised his batting average 19 points, which at this point of the season is quite a jump. 1-0. Santana would look at second base. The pitch fouled off the right side, came with a hard heater, and it's hit over the Ye Old Beer Garden in right field. Ye Old Beer Garden is being inhabited by ye 3 people. Beer Garden was packed yesterday. So was this ballpark. And it is empty tonight. One ball, 1 strike. A long look at the plate for Santana. Runners take big leads. Terrell and Santos out of the sliding pitch. The 1-1 pitch is chopped foul towards the bullpen in left field. 1-2. 3-0 lead for the Arkansas Travelers. A win tonight would just be huge. The Travs came in here to Wichita expecting to win at least 3 of 4. And after not just losing the first game of the series, but blowing a late lead, you know that the final 3 games of this series are must-win games. Here's the 1-2. Gumal takes a slider, called strike 3. And 2 strikeouts for Santana, ending the first inning. Leaves 2 runners on base. 1 inning is completed as Lawrence Dumont, the Travs 3, and the Wranglers nothing.
Go your own way with National Car Rental. Take a one-tank trip and discover Arkansas. National Trade Weekend Special Assist.
I'm 71. I'm 65. I'm 68. I'm 63. I'm 70. I'm 47. And we've all had a heart attack. A heart attack can happen at any age. In fact, every year, nearly twice as many women die from heart disease than from all forms of cancer combined, making heart disease the leading killer of women. I'm 57. I'm 49. I'm 38. Mathis Health, Arkansas's premier heart care leader, is working to increase awareness of heart disease and its symptoms, and to let you know what you can do to prevent it, like paying attention to your diet, watching your blood pressure, and regular exercise. With a little effort on your part, you have the potential to add years to your life. For a free brochure about heart disease, call 1-888-BAPTIST or visit our website at Baptist-Health.com. Baptist Health, all our best.
Go your own way with National Car Rental. Take a one-tank trip and discover Arkansas. National Trade Weekend Special is just what you need to take a trip to the Ozarks. Or get your friends together and rent a minivan to visit historic Eureka Springs. National offers a wide choice of sizes and styles. From luxury cars to vans and sport utility vehicles, unlimited mileage rates are available. National Car Rental has two convenient locations, Little Rock Airport and North Little Rock at 1319 Pike Avenue. See National Car Rental's ad in the yellow pages for more information. Go your own way with National Car Rental.
The Arkansas Travelers already have a lead of 3-0 as we get into the second inning. 3 unearned runs for the Travs. And we've already had one scoring change made by the official score as he has changed the error by Alberto Callaspo in the first inning to a base hit for Terrell. The only reason he changed that is because the run didn't score. Otherwise, it would have been an unearned run. And I think the official scorer knows that Terrell did not deserve that base hit, so it's a little bit of a hometown scoring call. That's okay. Strike to Carlos Duncan as he starts off the second inning as the number 9 hitter. Travs had 8 batters in the first. 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 errors committed by the Wranglers. And Duncan takes a strike from Tamayo on the outside corner. 0-2. Duncan hitting .284, 1 homer, 8 RBIs. He starts in left field today. Jason Espino has the day off. His ribs giving him some trouble after smashing into the fence at Dr. Pepper 7-up 3 nights ago. Duncan takes low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll be followed by Callaspo and Murphy. Espino really went into that fence in Frisco really hard. His body twisted in about 20 different directions. The 1-2 pitch rung up for strike 3. Duncan takes it at the knees. Tell you what, the batters on both sides are not very happy with the strike zone of Jason Kaiser already. There's been 4 strikeouts today, and all 4 of them have come on a called third strike. So Jason Kaiser right now the pitcher's best friend for each team. But both teams are going to have to start swinging at some of those borderline pitches. Top of the order now, and Callaspo had an error taken away, but he reached on an error in the first inning, and he'll take a ball downstairs. Callaspo had a hot shot to first. That's Santos, who is playing behind the bag now and last inning. They go right underneath his glove for a 2-base error. Alberto fouls off a curveball, 1-1. Baseman Jamal off the line, middle infielders deep. Alberto 2 for 11 in the series, but the run he scored in the first was his 3rd run of the series and his 36th of the year. The 1-1 pitch, and he fouls it off the left side over the bleacher seats into the parking lot. A lot of parking space out here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, and if I remember correctly, I think some of that parking is free, not all of it. There aren't many ballparks that have free parking. This is one of them that has a few spaces. Bounced it at first by Callaspo. Santos has it in back of the bag, an easy out. 2 gone. We're going to bring up Murphy. What a gorgeous night here. Arkansas River looks pretty calm, resting beyond McLean Street past right field, downtown Wichita, which is usually pretty quiet during the daytime, is silent right now. Friends and family out at the ballpark. It's always nice. Murphy takes the first pitch strike. Tommy walked and scored in the first inning. Batting left-handed, he is .283. Hit his 5th homer of the season on Sunday, and he swings and misses at a curve from Tamayo. Tamayo set down 4 batters in a row since Rudy Gomez stroked a single to right in the first inning. Tamayo victimized by his own defense last inning. And now he's doing some of the work himself. The windup and the 0-2 to Murphy. Fastball grounded to first. Off the line, Santos boots it, and Murphy is safe. That should be the second error of the game on Santos, to be the third for the Wranglers. He was waited for that ball. Off the line, only had to take one step towards the gap at second. Reached out with his glove, and it just kicked off the heel of his glove. Goodness gracious, that'll be the third error of the game on the Wranglers. And now it's official. Maybe Chad Santos had a curse put on his glove. I guess the Wranglers need a live rooster. There goes Murphy running with a pitch. A changeup called strike throw to second on the money, and not in time. Murphy is safe with his 10th steal of the year. Murphy was running on a changeup. If that pitch was a fastball, he probably would have been thrown out at second base. But instead, he is safe. First Trav to reach 10 steals. Now ties with Jason Bourgeois for 5th in the league. And a runner in scoring position for Gorneault. He reached on a ground ball that Jamal booted at third base in the first inning. Later scored on the sac fly from Mathis. When Murphy taking a huge lead at second, and Tamayo rightfully steps off the rubber. Murphy was about a third of the way to third base, basically tempting the pitcher to either step off the rubber or throw the pitch, and Murphy was going to steal another base. Here's the 0-1, and a curveball is low and outside. Ball one. 3 runs on 2 base hits for the Travs, no errors. The Wranglers, no runs, 2 hits, and 3 errors. We're only in the top of the second inning. Stretch to Miles, 1-1. Change up, and Gorneault swings and misses and goes down to one knee. The count is 1-2. Some of the fans shouting for Gorneault to strike out as he's the old Chicago K-Man, which means 2 for 1 appetizers at the restaurant right by the Travs Hotel. If he strikes out, and he does strike out on a changeup, swing and a miss. But at least Gorneault can savor that strikeout later when he's eating 2 for 1 appetizers in old Chicago, because he's going to. 3-0 Travs. Hey, we go to the bottom of the second on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Hey, fans, it's easy to get discount tickets to Travs games.
Come up, feasting, listen, tackle, peace and tackle, trucks, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Solid lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look at your things. Let your fingers do the walking. Grab the other book.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the Yellow Directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Not the other book.
Hey, fans, it's easy to get discount tickets to Travs games all year thanks to Ready Ice. Arkansas's #1 ice company, Ready Ice presents Ready Ice Wednesdays at Ray Wonder Field. Just pick up a discount coupon for any Wednesday Travs home game anywhere Ready Ice is sold, like most Shell and Exxon gas stations. Bring the coupons to the Travs box office for $3 general admission tickets to any Wednesday home game. That's Ready Ice Wednesdays at Ray Wonder Field all season long. Thanks to Arkansas's #1 ice company, Ready.
Into the bottom of the second inning at Lawrence Dumont Stadium as we're shuffling along on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Travs baseball brought to you by Miller Lite. And if you're counting carbs, Miller Lite contains half the carbs of Bud Light, and Miller Lite tastes a heck of a lot better. Grab a nice ice-cold can of Miller Lite this season at Ray Winder Field. And don't forget, we are back at the old ballpark coming up on Friday for an 8-game homestand. We have midget wrestling brought to you by Fox Sports Southwest and Fox 16 on Friday night. Midget wrestling begins at 7:10. If you've never seen it, you have to see it at least once in your life. Just once. Replica jerseys on Saturday. Jaime Jones fouls off the first pitch of the inning for a strike. Jones bats sixth in the Wichita order, followed by Scott Walter and Corey Aldridge. Santana winds up, and his 0-1 is a high fastball, 1-1. Jones hitting .283, 3 homers, 21 runs batted in. Santana gave up 2 hits, an infield single, 1 base hit to left, 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Changeup fools Jones. He swings and misses, strike 2. Ervin in his 4th professional season at only 21 years old. Out of San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. Angels signed him September of 2000. And here's his 1-2. Low and inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Santana seems to be fully healed from the shoulder stiffness, which kept him out of the month of March and most of April. Didn't start throwing that much until the second week of April. 2-2 pitch is inside the left-handed hitting Jones. That'll run the count full, 3-2. Ervin had a little bit of shoulder stiffness during the month of August last year and missed a couple of starts. Here's the 3-2, called strike 3 on a slider, and Jones knows that was a strike. He heads back into the dugout. 3rd strikeout for Santana, all of them. Catching a batter looking. Scott Walter up next. Well, Santana's got that slider working now. Such a nice, loose, easy pitching motion. Santana has wonderful mechanics. And here he faces Walter. First pitch popped up on the infield. Went after a fastball. Right towards the pitcher's mound. Elward converges. Callaspo takes charge. Alberto makes the catch. And there's 2 outs. You always love to see one of the infielders has to take charge on a pop-up straight away towards the pitcher's mound. You basically have 4 infielders and sometimes the catcher converging with the pitcher. And communication sometimes isn't the strongest point of some players, but Callaspo is a take-charge sort of shortstop. And he brought that in. 2 outs. First time that Santana's retired, a batter on 1 pitch. Base is empty, and Corey Aldridge steps in. Foul pitch on the first one, out of play left side. Aldridge plays his 4th game with the Wranglers after getting dropped by the Atlanta Braves, the team that had originally drafted him. Played 6 games with Atlanta a couple years ago in a reserve role. Left-handed batter, the 0-1 is inside, 1-1. Aldridge yesterday left 4 runners on base. 2 men in the second inning, and then he could have won the game with a hit in the 10th. And the left men at the corners, and he'll foul the pitch back, and the count is 1-2. Aldridge is 2 for 12 with the Wranglers. He hit .242 in 39 games in Greenville, South Carolina, the Braves AA affiliate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Santana winds up, and a fastball jams the batter. And Aldridge hits it in play, but right off his foot. It bounced towards the mound. Santana was ready to throw to first, but Kaiser calls it a foul ball. Still 1-2. By the way, Greenville, South Carolina is losing their baseball team, folks. And if you've been a fan of the Traps for longer than just 5 years, you remember the days when Jackson, Mississippi was in the Texas League. Well, the Jackson area is going to be the new area of the Braves AA affiliate, Pearl, Mississippi. Slider inside to Aldridge, and it's 2-2. The Braves own their AA affiliate and own a couple of their other minor league teams, and they've decided to move the team to Pearl, Mississippi, where they're building a brand new park as part of a Bass Pro Shop complex. Aldridge will drive the single into center. Nice piece of hitting on a fastball. It was out in front of it. Base hit number 3 for the Wranglers over their 8 hitters. Andres Blanco is up next. So yes, the Jackson area will get affiliated baseball again. They've had an independent team the last 2 or 3 seasons. But they're going to be called the Mississippi Braves. And it's part of a Bass Pro Shops complex. Of course, that's a big controversy brewing in central Arkansas these days about Bass Pro Shops. Andres Blanco takes high and tight for a ball, 1-0. I believe that'll be the first baseball park to be built with a sporting goods store as the anchor. Pitch for a strike, runner goes, throw to second is offline. Blanco showed bunt, brought the bat back and took a strike. Aldridge steals second base, and the runner in scoring position for Blanco. Blanco hit .239 for the year. Yesterday he was batting in the number 2 spot and went 1 for 7. A switch hitting shortstop with virtually no punch. 1 extra base hit in 23 games. The count is 1-1. Santana, long look at second, and the pitch hit towards short. Short pop-up. It's going to get down. A base hit. Duncan Fairhand throws to the plate, and it's high. Gets behind Del Chiaro. On to second base is Blanco, and he takes a wide turn. He'll get back to second base, and Del Chiaro overthrows second, but Murphy backs it up in center. Boy, the ball going all over the place today. The Wranglers get their first run on a bloop shot by Blanco to left field. That's only his 6th RBI of the season. And a little dunker just over Callaspo and in front of Duncan. So the Wranglers with a small rally here in the second inning with 2 outs. A good play by Duncan just to barehand that ball and fire to the plate, but his throw was high, allowing Aldridge to slide underneath him. And with the throw getting behind Del Chiaro, Blanco hustles into second base. The Wranglers with 4 base hits. It's the Travs 3, the Wranglers 1, and Santana now facing the top of the order. Jim Terrell, the batter, he singled in the first, but it was a ground ball that Callaspo should have fielded. First pitch to the left-handed hitter, a strike on the outside corner. Terrell, the DH. Runner at second base is Blanco with good speed. He's off the sliding pitch. The 0-1. Another strike. That's again on the outside corner. 0-2. The stretch by Ervin. The 2-strike pitch. 0-1, just a little low. Terrell hits his .231 against the Travs. Virtually his batting average against the rest of the league. A base hit by Blanco, his 9th of the season against the Travs. The 1-2, Ervin will step off the rubber. That was Blanco's first RBI against Arkansas. And just his 6th of the year. The 1-2 to Terrell, and he fouls it away. Check swing. Still 1-2. Travs scored 3 unearned runs in the top of the first inning. The Wranglers have scored 1 in the second. It's an earned run. Santana retired the first 2 hitters, but Aldridge singles to center. Steals second and scores on a base hit by Blanco to shallow left. Now the count 1-2 on Jim Terrell, and the pitch from Ervin is hit high to right. Back Gorneault. He's got room in front of the warning track, and he'll make the catch. That'll end the second inning. Wranglers get on the scoreboard with 1 run on 2 hits. A runner left at second. As we go into the third inning, the Travelers lead 3-1.
Maybe you think it's normal. Or you're afraid that's what you...
Okay, thanks for listening with me.
So what's your plan?
Plan?
To sell the house. Are you going to put up a sign and ad in the paper? Or maybe even a listing on your website?
Huh.
Why are you writing this down?
This is good stuff. Do you have any more?
Now working with the Century 21 agent. Century 21 agents pledge to develop a customized marketing plan to best sell your home. Only Century 21 agents offer the Century 21 service pledge to help reduce the stress of selling real estate. Century21.com. Real estate for your world.
The Century 21 pledge is offered by participating offices. Each office is independently owned and operated.
When allergies come with sinus pain, my Claritin just doesn't have it.
My Benadryl doesn't have it either.
Even my prescription allergy medicines don't have it.
Only Advil Allergy Sinus has it. It's the first and only allergy medicine with the pain-relieving power of Advil. So you get allergy relief plus advanced medicine for sinus pain. That's two-way relief.
Now I know what all the others are missing. Advil for my sinus pain.
Advil Allergy Sinus. Don't just stop allergies. Stop allergies that hurt.
Maybe you think it's normal. Or you're afraid they'll push you away. Maybe you tried pot too and you feel like a hypocrite. Whatever the excuse, get over it. Because if your kid smokes pot now, they're at risk of serious problems later. So be the parent. Say something.
We need to talk now.
To help them with their problems, first you have to get over yours. Action. The anti-drug.
For more information, visit theantidrug.com or call 1-800-788-2800. Sponsored by the ONDCP in partnership for drug.
2 innings in the books at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Your Travs lead the Wranglers 3-1. This is Phil Elson with you on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Hannah Ryan back at the studios. Jim Buzz Crane sitting off to my left, the trusty bus driver of the team. Here's Dallas McPherson leading off in the third inning. Swinging a miss on a big curveball from Danny Tamayo. McPherson knocked in the first 2 runs of the game with a single to center in the first. Now the league leader with 43 runs batted in. His average above 321 now. And he'll take outside of a changeup 1-1. After McPherson, Jeff Mathis. And then the Travs bring up Rudy Gomez, Elward, Del Chiaro, and Duncan after that. The 1-1 outside to Dallas 2-1. Before McPherson's current stretch, he wasn't hitting the ball very well. He was 3 for 23, was swinging and missing a lot. He struck out 13 times. He fouls back a breaking pitch. It's 2-2. When McPherson has changed a little, as he's leaning back further in the box and is staying behind the ball a little. He's also been concentrating on keeping his front shoulder in so it doesn't fly out. He believes that leads to a lot of swings and misses. He hasn't been swinging and missing a lot these days. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tamayo set the Travs down in the second inning with just 1 base runner on an error. Here's the 2-2, and McPherson pops it out of play over the third base seat, and it remains 2-2. The thought of losing Dallas McPherson is a very real thought these days, folks. The AAA Salt Lake Stingers continue to battle injuries. They lost their third baseman, Alex Pelaez, for a while yesterday. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and it's 3-2. The Stingers yesterday had Javi Rodriguez at third base. Casey Smith was playing first. A couple of former Travs taking over at the corners for the time being in Salt Lake. The Stingers are currently in last by a wide margin. 3-2, McPherson swings, bounces it foul towards Takayoshi. But you just have to wonder, how long can the Angels keep McPherson at Double-A the way he's hitting the ball? They still wanted to work in his fielding, and they also love the fact that McPherson has worked with Todd Takayoshi for 3 years now, and they have worked very well together. Here's another payoff, and McPherson takes a called third strike on the outside corner. Good pitch by Tamayo. Kept it away from Dallas and fooled him with something off speed. Strikeout number 4 for Tamayo. Got Del Chiaro looking in the first. Duncan was caught looking in the second inning. Gorneault struck out on a changeup to end the second, and McPherson goes down to start the third. Here's Mathis. His sac fly in the first, put the Travs ahead 3-0. Now it's 3-1. He'll take ball 1 off the outside of the plate. So Tamayo, who allowed 2 hits and a walk to the first 6 men he faced, has given up just 1 base runner since and no hits. Along with a sign for Tamayo, and the Notre Dame graduate winds up with a 1-0. It's inside, 2-0. Tamayo drafted out of Notre Dame University with the Royals' 10th round pick in 2001. And here's the 2-0. Ball 3 down and away to Mathis. Tamayo carries a record of 30-25 into this game. Best season 2002. Mathis a drive to left field. Back Brown still going back, and it is out of here. Home run number 8 on the season for Jeff Mathis, and the Travs back in front by 3. Boy, Mathis swinging on 3-0. And it's something we've seen the last 2 seasons. We've talked about it with Ty Boykin. why do you have the batters swinging 3-0? And he says it's up to them. If they're looking for a specific pitch and they get it in a certain area, by all means, go after it. Fifth homer allowed by Tamayo. The second he's given up to the Travs. Casey Kochman hit the other one. First pitch strike to Rudy Gomez. We'd like to thank Rudy's sister for calling up the radio station and letting us know that, yes, Rodolfo is Rudy's name, but it's Rodolfo Rudy Gomez, so Rudy is still part of his name. And a strike to Rudy right at the knees, nothing in two. So it's actually Rodolfo Rudy Gomez. Here's the 0-2 to Gomez, and it's downstairs for a ball, 1-2. Rudy singled to right field in the first inning, and facing here, a native of his hometown, Tamayo and Gomez, both from Miami. Thing is, Rudy went to the University of Miami. Tamayo went up to South Bend, Indiana. Change up, and the former Hurricane bounces it foul. Yesterday I was talking up the rivalry between the Hurricanes and the Fighting Irish, but Rudy was quick to point out that it's not much of a rivalry anymore. The two football programs haven't played each other in a while. The baseball teams do not play against each other. Might be rivals in basketball. They're no longer both in the Big East. Gomez is soft fly to center and making the catch Aldridge for the second out of the inning. Two gone, one run in on the solo shot by Mathis. He's knocked in 2 runs today, now with 30 on the year. And up to the plate comes Mike Elworth. Well, you can remember the day when the Fighting Irish and the Miami Hurricanes, it was pretty much between those two teams and either, if I remember correctly, Penn State, who was going to win the national championship in football. Notre Dame's baseball program is actually pretty good. One of the best in the Big East. Pitch outside to Mike Elworth, ball 1. Elworth fly to left field in the first inning. Mike hitting 150 in his last 25 games. He fouls one back this way, rolls up the fence. Here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, we are right above home plate. Nothing protecting us from hard line drives right back towards us. And the net right below us just to protect the fans. Here's the 1-1. Elworth steps, swings, hits it into right field. Jaime Jones drifting in, still coming in, and he's there to make the catch. That'll end the inning. A solo homer by Jeff Mathis. His 8th of the season, and the Travs are on top 4-1, bottom of the third after these messages.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I feel it in my mouth, but there's no taste.
Okay, sir, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer.
Okay.
Walk straight to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
Next time, try to like beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Quattin Chevrolet says, buy new, buy now, and we'll show you how. During the Quattin Chevrolet all-out sellout event. Special finance, cash rebate, rock-bottom prices on every new vehicle in stock. Only at Quattin Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Cars, trucks, vans, sports utility vehicles, all priced to sell now. Never before has Quattin offered such incredible savings from largest Chevy clearance sale in Arkansas history. Going on now. Quattin Chevrolet in Jacksonville. An American Revolution.
Listen, the crack of a bat, the distant whine of a lawnmower, the sounds of summer. A season when you try to spend as much time outside and out of the kitchen as possible. And when Del Monte can-do recipes come in handy. Del Monte steps up to the plate with simple, nutritious mealtime solutions using 3 steps or less that you can prepare in 20 minutes or less, and they're free. Sound good? Simple mealtime solutions that will have you saying, hey, I can do that.
Look for Del Monte vegetables at your local Harvest Foods. Harvest Foods, an Arkansas company serving Arkansans.
You're listening to Arkansas Travelers Baseball on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. KDXE, Northlip.
Fans, if you like Sunday afternoon baseball at Raywinder Field, you have just 1 chance left until the late part of August. This Sunday in Little Rock, the Travs battle the Round Rock Express with a 2 o'clock start time at Raywinder Field. There are discount tickets available right now at Academy Sports and Outdoors in West Little Rock on Markham. Also, it is the second Jim Elder Good Sport Fund Kids Clinic. First 300 kids to the clinic will receive a free Travs baseball and free instruction from the Travs and their coaches. That is coming up on Sunday. The Kids Clinic begins at 12:45 in the evening. We'll open the gates at 12 noon, so come early and bring a lot of kids. Travs and the Express will be playing the third game of a 4-game set. And here in the bottom of the third today, the Travs lead 4-1. And here's Ervin Santana with the first pitch downstairs to Ruben Gotay. Gotay hitting second in the order, followed by Dee Brown and Chad Santos. The windup, the pitch sent over shortstop, charging in Duncan, and it falls way in front of him. A base hit for Gotay. The Wranglers are out hitting the Travs 5-3, but they've also committed 3 errors. And the Travs got the home run from Mathis and a 2-run single by McPherson. First hit for Gotay, again the 5th of the game for Wichita. Here's Dee Brown. Brown was called out on strikes on a borderline pitch in the first inning. Left-handed hitter with 9 homers. A Wrangler best 39 ribbies, hitting .293. First pitch fouled off his own foot for a strike, 0-1. We'll have a chance to run down some out-of-town scores across the Texas League this inning. On the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard, we'll also give you the National League and American League scores if the time is provided. There was one final score earlier today. The Bristol Rough Riders beat the Drillers 3-1. That knocked Tulsa out of first place. The game was tied going into the top of the 9th inning when Edgar Gonzalez led off, getting hit by a pitch, stole second base, and scored on a single by Josh McKinley. Pitch down and into Brown, 1-1. Nobody out in the bottom of the third. The Travelers 4, the Wranglers 1. Runner at first base is Ruben Gotay. The Travs infield will look to turn a double play. Santana has not had a double play turn behind him in either of his first 3 starts of the year. The stretch, count 1-1. The pitch in the dirt. He gets away from Del Chiaro. Rolls over to the first base fence. And on to second base is Gotay. They'll call that one a wild pitch. Del Chiaro did not attempt to block that ball. Instead, he tried to dig it out of the dirt, backhand style. Hopefully that won't come back to haunt Santana. With a 2-1 count, he's already given up 5 base hits. Good chance that Brown might be able to knock Gotay home. If not him, Santos. He's on deck, and he's already singled today. 2-1. Santana is ready. Check at second base. Gotay a big lead. The pitch. Shot back to the mound. Santana has it, and they have Gotay hung up between second and third. There goes Callaspo running him back. McPherson makes the tag, fires to second, and Brown trying to get in there, and he's safe. Brown almost thrown out trying to advance to second base. Good job by Santana. When he fielded that ball, he quickly spun around and spied Gotay halfway to third. He ran him a little bit back to second, flipped to Callaspo. McPherson made the tag out. That's the first out of the inning. But Brown was able to get underneath the tag of Callaspo at second base. So really not much has changed. The out is recorded 1-6-5. Brown on a fielder's choice is now at second base. The number 4 hitter, Chad Santos, is up next. Santos singled to left field on 1 pitch in the second inning. He's 2 for 10 of the series. 281 hitter, 10 homers. First pitch on the way, and he'll take it low and inside. Ball 1. I mentioned the Rough Riders beat the Drillers by the final score 3-1 in the first game of a doubleheader, a split doubleheader. Sean Rowe picked up the victory, his 4th of the season. Emmanuel Ramirez dropped to 1-4 for Tulsa. Billy Sylvester saved his 7th of the year. The stretch on the 1-0 to Santos. Inside with a fastball, 2-0. So that game brings the Rough Riders to a tie for third place with the Travs at 25-26. The Wranglers currently in the lead in the East Division, but only for the time being at half game up. They've started the second game. The Drillers scored 3 runs in the first, and they lead 3-0 in the third inning. Here's the 2-0. Santos takes ball 3 down and in. Midland 6-0 leading San Antonio in the Alamo City. The Rockhounds already 6 hits. The Missions without a hit. Round Rock in El Paso should be starting sometime soon. Ezekiel Estacio pitches for the Express. William Juarez for the Diablos. Santos takes the 3-0 inside. And the first walk issued by Ervin. Outs are not coming easily for Santana. He's had at least 2 base runners every inning so far. 2 singles in the first, a couple of singles in the second, 1 run scored, and now 1 hit and 1 walk in the third inning. That brings out pitching coach Kernan Ronan. Santana was not extremely sharp at his last outing. His best outing of the year was a 9-2 win against the Wranglers back on May 22nd, his second appearance of the season. He started off rocky, allowing a walk and 2 hits in the first inning to load the bases, but he struck out the side, ended up giving up only 2 runs, one of them earned in 6 innings, and gave up 1 hit over the last 3 frames. But last time out, not very sharp, and today he's also not all that sharp. Ronan back in the dugout as Justin Gambal steps in. Infield ready for a double play. First pitch backs him off the plate, and Santana has missed with his last 5 pitches. In fact, Santana hasn't had a swing and a miss or a called strike this inning. The only strike came on a foul ball hit by Dee Brown. Other than that, he's missing the strike zone. Count 1-0. Set position, check at second. The pitch is a slider which hung in the strike zone, but Jamal takes it. 1-1. Ruben Gotay started the inning with a base hit to left, moved to second on a wild pitch. Brown's bouncer to the mound caught Gotay in a rundown. But Brown got to second base when Gotay was tagged out, and then Santos took a 4-pitch walk. The 1-1, Jamal takes another slider. This one's high, ball 2. Santana is living dangerously. He's pitching very high in the strike zone here in this inning. Sooner or later, the Wranglers hitters are going to make him pay for that. Can't leave too many breaking pitches that high in the strike zone. Count is 2-1, the stretch, the kick, and the pitch. That's a high fastball, and it's 3-1. So Ervin 1 pitch away from loading the bases for Jaime Jones. That'll put the tying run on the bases. A 3-1 count. Santana delivers a fastball, and that's a strike call. Outside corner makes it full. 3-2. Jamal was called out on strikes in the first inning. He's 5 for 10 in the series. 4 hits yesterday. Here comes the payoff. The runners go. A swing and a foul out of play on the right side. Santana came with heat. He hit the outside corner with it. It would have been a strike if Jamal took it. Count now full, or still full, I should say. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. The runners took off on the last pitch. Frank White trying to keep him out of a twin killing. Brown at second. Average speed. Santos at first is slow. Santana is ready, lifts the leg, and turns to second base and looks Brown back into the base. Boy, this game moving along slowly. The set position. Big pitch coming up here. The payoff, the runners stay. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Santana registers strikeout number 4 on a fastball, and he sets them all down on strike for the second time. Santana looked like he just figured, hey, enough screwing around with the slider. I'm throwing fastballs now. That's another thing about Santana and pitchers like him. When you have a major league caliber slider and a major league caliber fastball, if the slider isn't working great, you can always go back to that heater. Throw the slider every once in a while just to keep batters on it. Jaime Jones pulls the ground ball foul towards the first base seat. Bounces away from a couple of fans who leaned over the fence. And towards the Travs bullpen. The score in the bottom of the third inning is Arkansas 4, Wichita 1. 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Travs. The Wranglers playing a very sloppy game at 1 run on 5 hits and 3 errors. The stretch and an 0-1 count on Jones. Left-handed batter struck out of the second, and he takes the pitch just upstairs. 1-1. Jones, a .283 hitter this year, but only one for his last 12, actually 13 with 4 strikeouts. He will strike out quite a bit, 34 times this season. The stretch and a count of 1-1. The pitch, slider, and it's high. Santana is unable to get on top of that slider right now. The most important thing to get a slider to slide is to stay on top of the pitch, meaning that your fingers still need to be on top of the ball when you're throwing it. Otherwise, it's going to flatten out and stay high. Here's the 2-1. Fastball hits the first base, caught in the air by Elward. Nice grab. That takes away a run. Couple men left on the bases, and the Travs lead holds at 4-1. We go to the fourth on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Pig and Chick has always given you and your family the best choices in great food. Many of you are now watching those carbs, and although the Pig and Chick menu has always offered great low-carb items, there's now a special low-carb menu featuring items with the same great taste Pig and Chick is famous for. Of course, you'll still find those great Pig and Chick ribs, barbecue sandwiches, cat-fish, gourmet sandwiches, chicken, steaks, and more. Bring the whole family for a relaxing dinner. In a hurry, get it to go. Pig and Chick, 7824 Highway 107 in Sherwood. Open 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Looking for the perfect snack to go along with the game? Pick up America's #1 food craving and hit a home run with your family. With more than 300 varieties of cheese made right here in America, there are endless ways to cave to the crave. Stop by your local grocer for ideas on how to create mouth-watering appetizers that the entire family's going to love. Cheese is the perfect snack to accompany any game, and you'll be a winner with your family. The power of cheese.
Stone Lakes Golf Course is one of Central Arkansas's hidden sports gems. Located just 1 mile off I-440 on Faulkner Lake Road, Stone Lake features a unique lake-style course and some of the most reasonable green speeds around, complete with driving range plus chipping and putting greens and a full-range snack bar. Stone Lakes has everything a good duffer needs. Check out a hole-by-hole description on stonelakes.net or call 945-0945 for Stone Lakes.
Arkansas Travelers baseball runs into the top of the fourth inning. Here, the totals after 3. The Travs with 4 runs scored on 3 base hits, no errors. And the Wranglers scoring 1 run on 5 hits and 3 errors. Bill Elson here with you on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Travs back in town on Friday. They finish up this road trip tomorrow with a game starting at 7 o'clock. Corey Lee takes the hill for the Travs, be his second start of the season. Leading off for Arkansas in the top of the fourth inning, Brent Del Chiaro, and he'll take a called strike down the middle from Danny Tamayo. Travs scoring their 4 runs on a 2-run single by Dallas McPherson, Jeff Mathis with a sac fly, and a solo home run. Ball 1 low and away to Del Chiaro, who was called out on strikes to end the first inning. Over this road trip now, Del Chiaro 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts, and a pitch low and inside, and the count is 2-1. Following Del Chiaro, Carlos Duncan, then the top of the order, and Callaspo. The Wranglers have committed 3 errors. Del Chiaro, a line shot single to left. Tamayo hangs a curveball, and Del Chiaro smacks it into left field. His first hit of the road trip. Get that average back over 300. Up next is Carlos Duncan. And let's get to our Major League scoreboard, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Arkansas Travelers. Starting in the National League, where the East and Central Division teams, the Cincinnati Reds and the Florida Marlins, battling to a 5-all tie in the top of the 8th. Duncan a foul away for a strike. Carlos is 0 for 1. He was called out on strikes in the second. Ken Griffey Jr. continues to tear the ball with his 14th home run. Adam Dunn hit his 13th. Reds beat him yesterday. 2.5-game lead against the Cubs. Marlins remain 2 games in front of the Phillies. The stretch by Tamayo, runner at first, Del Chiaro, short lead. Duncan takes inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies lead 1-0 over the Mets in the second inning. Cardinals all over Pittsburgh 8-1. Top of the 7th, Albert Pujols, homer number 16. Darrell Ward of the Pirates hit his 7th. Ward was named a National League Player of the Week, along with his teammate Rob McCoyak. Their work against the Cubs. Ward also hit for the cycle. Pitch inside to Duncan, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Elsewhere in the National League, the Expos leading the Braves 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Jones has hit his 12th home run. 2 balls and a strike here. Tamayo ready with the pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider, and the count is 2-2. Houston and the Cubs tied at 3. Cubs getting solo homers from Moyes of the Lou, his 14th. Todd Hollinsworth hit his 7th. Todd Walker hit his 6th. 2 homers for the Astros. Bagwell and Kent. 9th for Bag. 8th for the staff. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Duncan. The stretch and the pitch. Carlos swings a chopper towards third base. Gamal makes the play. Backhand throws the first. Duncan beats the throw. Del Chiaro to second. Duncan with an infield single. Nobody out in the 4th inning. Tough play for Gamal on that bouncer. He had to wait for it to come to him instead of charging the ball because it was a high bouncer. And Duncan, who can flat out run, especially on an artificial turf surface, beats it out. That's his first hit of the series. And it brings up the top of the order, Alberto Callaspo. Later tonight in the National League, the Giants look for their 11th straight win there in Arizona. Here comes a pickoff toward the second base. Del Chiaro was saved. Colorado at San Diego tonight. Milwaukee visiting Dodger Stadium. Those are the National League games. There's 3 games later on in the American League. The Angels hosting the Red Sox. That'll be a great series at Angel Stadium. Red Sox tied for first with the Yankees. The Angels 2.5 games ahead of the Rangers for first in the West. The stretch, and Callaspo shows bunt. He'll take a strike at the knees. Didn't like that call, but that was a good pitch to bunt. 0-1 the count. White Sox in Oakland. It'll be Loaiza and Redmond the starters. That's later on tonight. The Blue Jays at Seattle as well. Right now in progress, the Yankees and the Orioles tied at 3 in the top of the 5th. Hideki Matsui hit his 9th homer. Kansas City and the Tigers tied at 3 in the 8th inning. Texas and Cleveland 5-5 in the 8th. Brock Barajas hit his 6th homer for the Rangers. Minnesota 4, Tampa Bay 2, bottom of the 5th. Torrey Hunter hitting his 7th home run. Tino Martinez hit his 9th for the Devil Rays. Callaspo slug bunt, fly ball to center. Back is Aldridge, still going back. He has room in the gap, and he makes the catch. Runners back to their spot. Callaspo tried to fool the Wranglers. The infield was charging. But instead of Alberto hitting it on the ground like he wanted to, he hit it in the air to center. 1 away, and Callaspo retired. He's 0 for 3. He did reach on an error in the first and score a run. Now Murphy steps in. Tommy's been on base twice. Tamayo walked into the first. He scored a McPherson single. And Murphy also reached on the error by Santos in the second inning on a chopper off the line. Runners at first and second. Murphy batting left-handed. First pitch, a curve, and he swings and misses. Trav 4, Wranglers 1. We're on the top of the 4th inning. Trav got ahead 3-0 before the Wranglers even came up to the plate. And 3 unearned runs at that. Runners with leads. Duncan way off of first. Del Chiaro cautiously from second. Here's the 0-1, and it's ball 1 downstairs to Murphy. Murphy breaking out of the slump now. He's come into this series with only 7 hits in 51 at-bats with 17 strikeouts. But in this series, Murphy is 4 for 10. He's scored 6 runs and has only struck out once. Murphy also fully healthy after his battle with pink eye and the flu, plus a very sore right foot from foul balls. A 1-1 count. Tamayo's pitch is a changeup outside. 2-1. Tamayo laboring here in the 4th inning. Pitched the scoreless second. Gave up the homer to Jeff Mathis in the 3rd. Del Chiaro and Duncan lead the 4th inning with singles before Callaspo is out to center. And the pitch almost hit Murphy. He gets out of the way of a fastball. 3-1. On deck is Gorneault. When Tamayo had a problem in the 1st inning when he had the bases loaded with nobody out for McPherson. Really wasn't all his fault. He walked one batter. The other 2 reached on errors. But load the bases for Gorneault or McPherson again, and he does. He walks Murphy. The 3-1 pitch was outside. Load him up. Wichita bullpen right now is very quiet. I think they might get someone warming up soon. Here comes Gorneault. Gorneault has already struck out once, which makes the fans here happy. They'll get 2-for-1 appetizers at a local restaurant, which is right next to the Trav Hotel, which means that Gorneault's going to be eating those 2-for-1 appetizers too. But since he got that strikeout on, how about a base hit? Bases are loaded. Trav's ahead by 3, and the first pitch down and away. McPherson had the bases loaded in the first inning, and he singled to center. Gorneault had reached on an error by Justin Gamal, and what was a sure double play chopper. Gorneault is 1 for 5 with the bases loaded. And here's the 1-0. He swings and rips it down the third base line. Fair ball. Here comes Del Chiaro and Murphy around third to score. To second base is Gorneault, and the Travs get ahead 7-1. Clear the bases. Nick Gorneault drives in 3. Well, that breaks the game open. The Travs had their chance in the first inning and scored 3 runs with the bases loaded, and now they do it again. Gorneault's 15th double of the season ties Dallas McPherson for the team lead. RBIs 31, 32, and 33. And here comes Larry Carter out of the dugout for his second visit in the last 3 innings. Well, a good piece of hitting by Gorneault. Tamayo just not throw hard. He was trying to come inside, and Nick was looking inside, and he ripped down the third base area. Travs rallying 3 on twice, and this is one of their largest leads in a while, folks. A 6-run lead hasn't happened much these days. While the Travs haven't really been struggling offensively recently, a 6-run lead haven't had a game like that since. Could we be in for one of those total butt whoopings? Right now, that's what's going on. McPherson will step up to the batter's box. He's got Gorneault at second base after the bases clearing double. McPherson singled to center in the first, driving in 2 runs. He was called out on strikes in the third. And from the stretch, Tamayo throws to first base. Gorneault gets in safely. The 3 RBIs for Gorneault. He now has 5 RBIs in this series. Nick hadn't been knocking many runs home recently. Only 1 RBI against the Frisco Rough Riders in that series. And so Nick's starting to get back on track. McPherson, meanwhile, the 2 RBIs in the first. And he has now knocked in 20 runs in his last 13 games. He's taken over the league lead in the RBI category as well as the slugging percentage and extra base hits categories. McPherson would be a good bet as a possible first half player of the year. And he's not really going to be around much for the second half, at least that's just a personal opinion. He'll certainly be an all-star. A stretch and the first pitch to Dallas, a curveball, and he takes strike 1. Tamayo hanging in the balance here. And the Wranglers only have 3 pitchers that they're ready to use out of the bullpen today. Wranglers last night reported to almost empty the pen. Here's the 0-1. Dallas takes outside for a ball. Wranglers used 3 relievers yesterday. 3 the night before. Trujillo is not available. The only 3 pitchers available are lefty Billy Keppinger and right-handers Mike Natale and Vasquez. A hard shot to right field, base hit for McPherson. Gorneault rounds third base, and he'll score, and it's 8-1 Arkansas. Third RBI of the game for McPherson, and the Travs have a 7-run lead. Nobody is working in the Wichita bullpen. Danny Tamayo right now is taking one for the team. He has given up 8 runs on 7 base hits. They did give up 3 unearned runs in the first inning, but the last 5 runs have been earned. Travs has scored 4 times in the fourth. And here's Mathis, who's already knocked in 2 runs with a sac fly and a solo homer. His 8th home run of the season. That's 30 RBIs. McPherson at first, and a fastball. Mathis swings and misses. But Tamayo just does not have much right now. It looks like he's laboring on the pitcher's mound. His fastball doesn't have much light. Curveball's the only pitch he's really getting some outs with. Count 0-1, the pitch to Mathis. Swung on, line to third. Diving catch by Gamal. And back to first goes McPherson. Sparkling play by Gamal. But it does not make up for the error he committed in the first inning today, nor the error he made yesterday, which opened the door for the Travs to come from behind. Now a pitcher starts to warm up in the Wrangler bullpen. Right-hander Mike Natale is starting to throw. Here comes Rudy Gomez. Gomez 1 for 2. And he sends a ground ball up the middle. Gotay, nice stab at second. Flips to Blanco at shortstop, and that'll end the inning. Great play to end the frame. But the Travs rally for 4 runs on 4 base hits. Gorneault with a big hit, a bases clearing, 3-run double. Travs 8, Wranglers 1. Back for the bottom of the fourth after this.
Meet Bob, the carpenter. He's smart, he's a pro, and he wants the best for his family. What does he do? Join the union. Bob knows that a union carpenter maximizes his earning power, gets family insurance, and a pension plan he can count on. Plus, a union carpenter has access to union training, learning new skills and advancing his career. Carpenters, pile drivers, floor layers, and millwrights. Join now and start enjoying the benefits. Call the Arkansas Regional Council of Carpenters at 501-568-2500 for more information.
Frank, what are you doing here? Wife sent me. We're out of Coke. You? Sorry. First one to aisle 5 like the other. Coke. Yeah, you're on. Yo, Tony Stewart, you jumped the green flag again. Hey, stop throwing cereal boxes at me. Whatever, stop drafting my car. Yeah, that's off. Looks like you're buying me that Coke.
NASCAR fans have a one-track mind.
Case of Coke says I need you to register.
Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real.
It's baseball season again. Listen to the sounds of Arkansas Travelers baseball.
Stop on the ground with the shortstop. Beck gets it. He goes to second for 1 out. Duncan to first. Back him up. A double play. He tries. Right field. Way back. 2. Gotta get out of here. And that, folks, is a game-winning homer. The Travelers win the game.
Sound like fun? Arkansas Travelers Baseball. Call 664-1555 or log on to Travs.com.
Travs have broken the game open with a 4-run 4th inning and now lead 8-1 against the Wichita Wranglers. Phil Elson here with you on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Travs baseball brought to you by Miller Lite. And Miller Lite, of course, is the light beer that actually tastes like beer. And it's available this season at Ray Winder Field. Pick one up from the beer stand. And don't forget to tip your beer lady or the beer man if Johnny's walking through the crowd. Travs have scored 8 runs over the first 4 innings of the ball game. And here the Travs breaking out early in the month of June. Travs had a pretty rocky month of May, going 12-17, falling out of first place. Right now, the Travs are 2 games in back of first. First pitch from Ervin Santana to Scott Walters, smoked high but foul to right field, bouncing in the Travs bullpen. Strike 1. May has not been the Travs month historically, at least since the Angels affiliation began in 2001. I don't have the records right in front of me, but I can guarantee you the Travs lost a heck of a lot more games than they've won. And the May flowers are supposed to come. It's still showering for the Travs. The 0-1 fouled away, and that one got the home plate umpire. Jason Kaiser took one on his right arm. Ouch. Kaiser hit by that foul ball. He's okay. Well, maybe he's not okay, but he's not gonna let anyone know that it hurts all that much. Umpires are tough folks. Del Chiaro talking with Santana just to give Kaiser a little bit of time to let that pain wear off. month of June, however, certainly can be the Travs month. Won just enough games 3 years ago to pick up the East Division championship in the first half. Of course, 2002, they were really bad the whole season, so May was just another bad month for a bad team. Last season, the Travs played fairly well in June. 1-2 pitch to Walter. That's high. Walter is 0 for 1. He popped out to shortstop in the second inning, followed by Aldridge and Andres Blanco. Santana hands overhead, the kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider, and he strikes him out. Strikeout number 5 for Ervin Santana. Aldridge stepping in. Aldridge singled and scored in the second inning. Santana protecting a 7-run lead. Mike Natale still warming up in the bullpen at left field, so that leads us to believe that Danny Tamayo will not return for the 5th. Aldridge will foul off the first pitch for a strike. Corey Aldridge, a former teammate in Greenville with current Travs starting pitcher Willie Colazo. They played for a couple years together there. They were golfing buddies. Here's the 0-1, and that is outside for a ball, 1-1. Sort of tells you, a game of baseball is some sort of an insular community. You can be a teammate with somebody, and then the very next year you're hitting against them. It's blowing into Aldridge, and it counts 2-1. You know, I look in the baseball rule book, the official rule book, published by the Sporting News. There's something about fraternizing with players. Pitch high from Santana. That'll run the count to 3-1. In fact, it's strictly prohibited that the players fraternize on the field before the game, and that also counts batting practice. 3-1 pitch down and in. Santana walks Aldridge. Second walk issued by Ervin. Still just can't seem to find a perfect inning yet. Here's Blanco. When I mentioned about that fraternizing rule, that it's not allowed, just take into account, a lot of these guys know each other. They're friends from either college days, they played on the same team, or they just met each other at a restaurant at some point in the same city. Pitch outside to Blanco for a ball. Blanco's RBI single in the second inning knocked in Wichita's only run. And it's pretty difficult not to fraternize. I like that word. 1-0, trying to bunt. Blanco misses, 1-1. Fraternize, I think that also just means hang out now in today's lingo. I don't think you find many people using the word fraternize or fraternization. They're saying hang out. So the rule book says you're not supposed to hang out with opposing team players. They still do anyway. Chopper to second, could be 2. Lifts his shortstop. Blanco is now out at first. Rack him up. A gorgeous throw by Callaspo. Alberto Callaspo and Rudy Gomez really working well together at second and third. Second and short, and that'll send us into the 5th inning with the Travs leading the Wranglers 8-1.
Top Shoes has the largest selection and the lowest prices on shoes and boots for the entire family. Choose from a large selection. Rocky, Red Wing, Justin, Wolverine, Chippewa, Carolina, hunting boots, hiking boots, work boots, steel toes, metatarsal guards, linesman, electrical hazard, ESD, and uniform boots. Boots with Sensolate, Cortex, and Cross-Tech blood and chemical-resistant boots. At Top Shoes, we have your boots. Join our Top Shoes Tip-Top Shoppers Club and receive free shoes.
The taste of originality, Dr. Pepper. The food individuality, Dr. Pepper. Do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
AgPro knows your patient. You've had your eye on a certain green and yellow tractor for some time now. But here's a thought. Visit your local John Deere dealer for an innocent test drive. Sit in that yellow seat and feel that rugged quality. Then run the numbers. you may find you've underrated the value of a John Deere and overrated the value of patience. After all, nothing runs like a Deere. Test drive the John Deere of your choice today at Ag Pro Central, Arkansas, 10504 Maumelle Boulevard, North Little Rock.
A pitching change for the Wichita Wranglers to start the fifth inning. Mike Natale replaces the starting pitcher Danny Tamayo. Tamayo lasting just 4 innings, giving up 7 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them will be earned. Tamayo walked a couple of batters. He also struck out 3. Struck out 4. 1 wild pitch, 1 home run, and Tamayo in line for the loss as the Travs lead 8-1 after 4 innings. And Natale comes on in relief. Natale, one of the only relievers the Travs did not face yesterday. A right-hander out of Whittier, California. And from the stretch, his first pitch of the inning to the batter is downstairs for a ball. It's Mike Elwert at the plate. Elwert is 0 for 2. He's fly to left, fly to right as well. Del Chiaro and Duncan follow, and a tip ball into the catcher's mitt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Natale makes appearance number 18 on the season. He picked up the win 2 days ago with an inning of relief. 4-0 record and a 445 earned run average. The stretch, and here's the 1-1. Elwert swings at a changeup and pops it high down the left field line. Long run for Dee Brown into foul territory, and he drops the ball. And a long way to run. He crossed over the foul line about 50 feet and just dropped it in and out of the glove. The Wranglers have already committed 3 errors, and we could have actually charged that as a 4th error. That's an official scores decision. Again, that was a tough run for Brown. Positioned in average depth left field, and he went all the way to 50 feet past the foul line. I don't think they're going to charge an error. The count on Elwert moves to 1-2. Mike's average below 250 for the first time this year. As Natale leans back and throws a fastball high and tight, and Elwert had a dunk underneath it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mike Elwert. Since Casey Kotzman's promotion to the major leagues, Elwert's been the everyday first baseman, but his bat has been fairly quiet. 2-2 pitch, he waits on it, swings, and a liner into right field, and he has a base hit. Just the 3rd hit of the road trip for Mike Elwert, and a leadoff single for the Travs. With that leadoff man on for the 3rd time in 5 innings. Arkansas 8, Wichita 1. Your score in the top of the 5th. Dallas McPherson, Jeff Mathis, and Nick Gorneault with the big hits. So that's the big hitters with the big hits. Del Chiaro fouls the pitch back for a strike. McPherson with 3 RBIs, 2 base hits. Mathis, a homer, 2 runs batted in. And Nick Gorneault cleared the bases with a double in the 4th inning. An 0-1 count, Del Chiaro singled his last trip and scored, and he'll take a strike, 0-2. You always have to appreciate the beer man who rhymes as he walks through the crowd. Maybe you give him an extra tip, or you can just rhyme with him. Swing and a miss, Del Chiaro went after the split finger, and he's down on strike for the 2nd time today. The split finger is Natale's best pitch. Pretty much what he lives and dies by, because his fastball comes out about 85 miles an hour. His 25th strikeout in 31 innings. 1 away in the 5th. Here's Carlos Duncan. Duncan beat out an infield single in the 4th on a chopper to 3rd. And he'll take a pitch in the dirt and outside from Natale, ball 1. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Travs, and the Wranglers at 1 run on 5 hits and 3 errors. So far, all Travs, but we are not yet halfway through the game. Santana is also struggling a little bit through the first 4 frames. Here's the pitch to Duncan. He pops it shallow left. Coming in Brown. Coming in Aldrich. It's Brown from left field making the call and the catch for out number 2. Duncan heads back into the dugout, 1 for 3, and we're back to the top of the order.
Shortstop for 5, Alberto Callaspo.
Callaspo started the game with a hot shot down the first base line that Chad Santos had get between his legs for a 2-base error. Then the starting pitcher, Danny Tamayo, walked Tommy Murphy before Nick Gorneault's ground ball was booted by Justin Gamal. And McPherson brought in Callaspo and Murphy with a single to center. Splitter to Callaspo. He takes a strike. Since Alberto reached in the first inning, he bounced out to first and fly to center. McCauley, the stretch, and the pitch. Swung on, lined up the middle, a base hit, head towards right center, on to third base going Elward, and on towards second base going Callaspo. He gets with no throw. A hustling double for Alberto Callaspo. And the Travs have 2 more runners in scoring position. Double number 10 for Alberto on a ground ball that just got by the second baseman Gotay, and the center fielder Aldrich was slow to get there. That's base hit number 9 for the Travs, the second of the inning. Tommy Murphy still looks for his first hit. He's taken 2 walks, reached on an error, stole a base, and has scored twice. He'll bat left-handed against Natali, and the first pitch is a strike over the outside corner. Out of 4 previous innings, the Travs have only gone scoreless in one of them, the second. Here's the 0-1 to Murphy in the dirt, and it gets behind the catcher. That'll score Elward, and Callaspo gets to third. Arkansas 9, Wichita 1. Well, now the Wranglers have made almost every mistake they can. They've committed 3 errors. There's been 1 wild pitch. They've had a runner caught in a rundown. The only thing they haven't done is balk or throw a pass ball. Count is 1-1 on Murphy, and Elward now at third base, so the Travs continue to score in every inning but the second. An 8-run lead. The stretch, Natali delivers the 1-1 high and away. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Twilight settles in here to Wichita. The lights have taken their effect on the field. Very quiet night for baseball in southeastern Kansas. The air cooling down below 80 degrees for the first time today. Here's the 2-1, and Murphy takes a curve for a called strike over the outside corner. 2-2. Murphy has knocked in 24 runs this year, and he'll take a pitch outside. Running the count full, 3-2. Travs scored 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 4 times in the fourth, 1 run in the fifth. And the 3-2 to Murphy, swung on, ground ball, base hit to right field, make it a clean 10 runs. Callaspo scores from third base. Murphy knocks his 25th of the year. 10-1 Arkansas. One of the best games over the last month for the Travs. This is the first time they've scored 10 runs since May 4th in a 10-9 win in El Paso, but it took 11 innings to score 10 runs that game. It's taken the Travs 5 innings to score 10 runs tonight. Gorneault sends a high fly ball down the right field line, chasing Jones into the foul area. He slides, and did he make the catch? The ball popped back in the air, and he did make the catch. Uchikawa says he brought it in, And a nice sliding grab by Jones in foul territory ends the fifth inning. But 2 more runs for the Travs, and it's 10-1 Arkansas. Halfway point, bottom of the fifth coming up. Arkansas 10, Wichita 1.
Faucets, leaking, come out, feasting, dishes, tackle, piece and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Out in lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see that something else is
other books. When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
not the other book.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I feel it in my mouth, but there's no taste.
Okay, sir, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer.
Okay.
Walk straight to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less selling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Halfway through tonight's game at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, the Arkansas Travelers have scored 10 runs on 10 hits, while the Wichita Wranglers 1 run on 5 hits and 3 errors. All Travs tonight, they look for their second consecutive victory and a chance to even their record at 26-26. The low point for the Travs was losing the first game of this series on Sunday and dropping to 2 games under 500. And now they're starting to come back. Ervin Santana facing Jim Terrell with a first pitch strike in the inside corner. Terrell at the top of the order is 1 for 2, an infield single in the first, slide to right in the second. And Santana misses down and inside, 1-1. Following Terrell, Ruben Gotay, and then Dee Brown. In the bottom of the fifth, Santana allowing 5 hits. Pitch to Terrell, popped up behind third base. Finding it in the air is Callaspo. Duncan comes in from left, and Duncan makes a basket catch. And there's one away. Dallas McPherson nowhere to be found on that pop-up. Once the ball was hit in the air, McPherson looked up, couldn't find it, and put his arms out to say, hey, this is up to you guys to bring it in. I don't know where the ball is. One away. Terrell is now 1 for 3. Santana now facing Ruben Gotay. Gotay hitting the ball hard. A line out in the first. A single to left in the third. First pitch, a swing and a miss for a strike. 0-1. Dee Brown on deck. 5 hits for the Wranglers. Santana with 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Here's the 0-1, and Gotay takes a slider for a strike outside corner, 0-2. Santana only went 4 innings his last game. He's looking to go 5 this time. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside and off Gotay's belt buckle, ball 1. Gotay at some point, I believe, will be a starting second baseman for the Royals. Got a pretty live bat, very good range at second. And he fouls a slider away, still 1-2. Gotay, just 23 years old, out of Puerto Rico. Here's the pitch, it's down, and the count 2-2. Santana head over lined up, and the 2-2 pitch line shot up the middle and just past Rudy Gomez. Second hit of the game for Gotay, the 6th off of Santana. Well, Santana still unable to put together a perfect inning as he's battling in the fifth. He's only given up 2 hits since the second inning, but also a couple of walks, plus he's working deeper in the count. Travis at least won against 6 innings out of Santana. To save the bullpen from having to work all that hard after using 5 pitchers yesterday. Here's Dee Brown. Brown is 0 for 2. He bounced back to the mound of the third. Was called out on strikes in the first, and he sends a drive to left field. Duncan back, and in front of the track will make the catch. Good job by Duncan. He had to streak back towards the track with his head down. And when he turned around after the warning track, he found the ball. And it was a slicing line drive, so a pretty tough grab for Duncan, but he brought it in. 2 gone in the fifth, and a very important 1 pitch out for Ervin. Number 4 hitter Chad Santos steps in. No woman, no cry. What kind of intro music is that? Santos is 1 for 1. A single in the first, a walk in the third, and he'll take a strike over the outside corner. This set position, Santana looking to send us into the 6th inning. And he's way outside with a changeup. 1-1. Travs 10, Wranglers 1. Arkansas scored 3 unearned runs in the first inning. Wranglers scored once in the second. Mathis hit a solo homer in the third. Gorneault a bases clearing double in the fourth. McPherson then knocked him in. Trav scored twice in the 5th inning. And Santos pushes that ball foul. Strike 2. Last night was a huge win for the Traps. You could look back at that game and say that was certainly a must-win, especially battling back from behind. 1-2, the kick, the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, number 6 on the game for Santana as he whips Santos on high heat. The Wranglers go scoreless, 1 hit, 1 man stranded. We've played 5. The Travelers lead 10-1.
Power on. Plug in. And you get ready to select one when the switch says turn, you lose.
Power up at the Electric Cowboy I-30 at Chico Road exit, where there's always something going on. Electric Cowboy open Wednesday through Sunday. Doors open at 7:30 each night. And just listen to all that's going on. Wednesday night, ladies' night. Ladies in the door by 10 p.m. get $5 cash. Plus, free dance lessons at 8 p.m. And enjoy $1.50 long nights till midnight. Then, Thursday nights, it's $1 long nights and $2 pitches, plus live music every Thursday night. Yeah, there's always something going on at the Electric Cowboy I-30 at the Chico Road exit.
Power on at the Electric Cowboy I-30 at the Chico Road exit. Doors open 7:30 Wednesday through Sunday. And
Hey, you're a Eubanks & Associates. You've heard us talk about what we bring to the table. You ask what that means for you. Well, these verdicts and settlements are real results we've achieved for our clients. As large as $19 million for one case.
Trailing by 9 runs. He's pretty much packed it in and mailed it home. Here's the 1-0 to Elwood, and he takes it down the middle for a strike. Elwood is 1 for 3. He started off the 5th inning with a base hit to right against Natali. Later scored on a wild pitch. And the next pitch to Mike, swung on, line shot past third, base hit. The second is Gomez, and he's racing for third base. The ball is still on the outfield fence. Gomez held at third by Ty Boykin. Into second is Elwood, and the Travs continue to pound the ball. That's the 11th base hit of the game for the Travs. Elwood connects on his second of the game. Before today's game, Elwood had only 2 hits over the road trip. They have now taken away the error on Gotay and awarded Gomez with another base hit, his second. And I think that was the right call. Gotay wasn't even that close to it, so you can't charge an error. But if I was Mike Natali, I'd be pretty upset at Ruben Gotay. Elwood with a double, and here's Del Chiaro. Switch fingered for a strike on the first pitch. fifth double of the year for Elwood. Trans have only been scoreless in one inning today. The 0-1 split-fingered called strike two. Del Chiara 1 for 3 with a fourth inning single. He struck out twice. Runners at second and third base. A chance to put the Trans ahead by 11 runs. The 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball one. 10 runs on 12 hits for the Trans. We're going back to April here, folks. This was almost an everyday occurrence in April. Boy, we were spoiled in the month of April, I'm going to tell you. Here's the 1-2. Del Chiaro swings, pops it up. Let's see if they call this one. Blanco at short, making the call. Underneath it, making the catch. And that ends the inning. Travs threatened but do not score, stranding 2 runners on 2 hits. 10-1 Travs, bottom of the 6th coming up on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Looking for the perfect snack to go along with the game? Pick up America's #1 food craving and hit a home run with your family. With more than 300 varieties of cheese made right here in America, there are endless ways to cave to the crave. Stop by your local grocer for ideas on how to create mouth-watering appetizers that the entire family's going to love. Cheese is the perfect snack to accompany any game, and you'll be a winner with your family. The power of cheese.
Introducing fresh taste salads from Sonic. Has been made to order by hand with care for your very own fresh taste salad. At Sonic, we make them the way you'd make them at home, if you had the time. We start with the freshest ingredients, add your choice of tender grilled chicken, crispy jumbo popcorn chicken, or Santa Fe grilled chicken. You even get your pick of your favorite Hidden Valley dressings. So try a new fresh taste salad from Sonic today. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
I am a lead technician in working quality control for a small electronics company. I supervise 4 technicians daily and direct the testing and calibration of products.
Matthew O'Mullane earned a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Automated Manufacturing Technology in 2002 and a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Electronics Engineering Technology in 2003 from the ITT Tech in Indianapolis, Indiana.
ITT Tech has allowed me to get to where I eventually want to go.
Call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web at itt-tech.edu. ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future.
Travs baseball moves into the bottom of the 6th inning here on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Brought to you as always by Pig and Chick, the Great American Barbecue House. Pig and Chick is located on Highway 107 in Sherwood, and Pig and Chick features all your favorite barbecue plates, plus the fixins and a great family atmosphere. You can always check them out online at pigandchick.com or dial them up at 834-6150. 10-1 score, the Travs lead. And in the bottom of the 6th inning, Scott Schneider joins the game out of the Arkansas bullpen. Replaces Ervin Santana, who battled through 5 innings, scattering 6 hits and 2 walks, allowed only 1 run and struck out 6. Santana in line for his second win at the bullpen holder. They have a 9-run cushion, and Schneider fires a strike to Justin Gamal. 18th appearance for Scott. His record 1-0. ERA is .310. And the right-hander's pitch is slowly bounced towards third base. McPherson barehands and just holds onto it. Gamal, who had struck out twice against Santana, leads off the 6th with an infield single. The 7th single of the game for the Wranglers. They're about an extra base hit. Here's Jaime Jones. Jones 0 for 2. Schneider making his first appearance of the series. Second of the road trip. Pitched very well on the 28th of May in a 6-2 loss. He has pitched 4 strong innings, allowing just 1 run. Pitch downstairs to Jones, 1-0. Scott, a 6'4" right-hander from Virginia Beach, who now makes his home in Mesa, Arizona, along with his wife Corey. The 1-0 pitch is over the outside corner. Scott decided to move to Mesa because that's where the Angels hold spring training. Wife going to nursing school. Here's his 1-1. Swung on, bounced down the first base line. Foul, strike 2. Schneider in his second year with the Travs. Pitched very well in relief last year. Went 8-4 in 33 games, plus his first 2 professional starts. Scott's role is as a long reliever, mid to late innings. A funky side-winding delivery. And good stuff. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt, and it's taken by Jones. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Ervin Santana didn't seem to have his best stuff today. And how about that? For not having your best stuff, 1 run in 5 innings, not so bad. But I'll tell you, when Ervin Santana has his best stuff, he'd be unhittable at Double-A. Jones will tip the pitch into the catcher's mitt, and Schneider strikes him out. For Schneider, his 25th strikeout in 29 in the 3rd inning. And now Scott Walters steps in. That's the 7th Wrangler to go down swinging. Walters struck out in the 4th, topped out in the 2nd. He's 0 for 2 and 1 for 6 in the series. Runner takes off. Schneider's pitch, a strike throw to second by Del Chiaro, is dropped at second base by Gomez. And a steal for Gamal, his 5th of the season. So the Wranglers still trying to be aggressive on the bases here in the 6th, trailing by 9 runs. They have not shown much of a spark today as the Travs got ahead of the 1st inning. Travs got ahead in the 1st inning with 3 runs and pretty much put the game away in the 4th with a 4-run rally. Here's the 0-1. Walters swings, breaks his bat, grounded to third. McPherson has it at the sliding pitch. Runs to first base for out number 2. Gamal holds his spot. 2 gone in the 6th inning. Walter 0 for 3. And here's old Corey Aldridge. Aldridge singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Santana walked him in the 4th, so having a perfect game at the plate so far. And now facing Schneider with 2 outs and a runner at second. Pitch from Scott, a fastball high and tight. 10-1 score, Travs lead, bottom 6.
Stepped up to the plate with simple mealtime solutions that will have you saying, hey, I can do that.
Look for Del Monte vegetables at your local Harvest Food. Del Monte Harvest Foods, an Arkansas company serving Arkansans.
He joined the Air Force in 1964 and served in Vietnam. He commanded forces in the far corners of the globe. Rising through the ranks, he served as a 3-star general at the Pentagon. You'd think 30 years of distinguished service would be plenty. But if you're Norman G. Leeson, Lieutenant General, retired United States Air Force, that's just the beginning. Today, he's pursuing a new career as Walmart's Vice President of National Government Relations. Norm's journey took him near and far, through Asia, Scandinavia, Europe, the Middle East, and Webster University, where he earned a master's degree that served him well in his career. I'm Bob Costas, member of the board of Webster University. All Webster campuses around the world share the same belief. Education is more than just a degree. It's real knowledge, for real-world success.
For more information about graduate degrees from Webster University in Little Rock, visit them on the web at webster.edu or call them 800-828-2598.
It's 11-1, the Travs lead. 7th inning stretch is finished. And leading off for the Wranglers in the top of the 7th, Jim Terrell against Scott Schneider, whose first pitch comes outside for a ball. Travs have scored 11 runs on 14 base hits, no errors. The Wranglers 1 run, 8 hits, and 3 errors. Terrell is 1 for 3. Schneider pitched a scoreless 6, giving up 2 hits, and he misses outside with a fastball to count 1-1. Following Terrell, Ruben Gotay, and Dee Brown. Here's Schneider's 2-0. And downstairs, the count should be 2-1 now, not 3-0, as the scoreboard says. Run down some out-of-town scores across the National League and the Major Leagues. There are 3 final scores to report from the senior circuit. Reds and Marlins battle in 10 innings. The Reds win 7-6. Strike down the middle. Count is 3-1 on it. And here's the next pitch from Schneider. It's tied. Ball 4, and there he goes to first. Griffey hit his 14th homer. Adam Dunn hit 2 homers. He also has 14. And the Reds continue to play great baseball. They win their 31st game of the season, most wins in the majors. Mets beat the Phillies with a 3-run 10th inning. Pardon me. Tied and inside the Marlins, the Mets to 4.5 out. With a strike to Gotay on the outside corner, 1-1. Gotay 2 for 3, 2 singles, 1 liner to first. He is hitting the ball hard. Stretch, the pitch, blowing in on a curve. 2 balls, 1 strike. St. Louis all over the Pirates, 8-1, their second straight win in Pittsburgh. Scott Rowland was hit by a pitch from Ryan Vogelsong in the first inning. In his head, taken to the hospital for x-rays. Grounder up the middle and a base hit for Gotay, his third. Carroll stopped at second. And the Wranglers had some business working in the bottom of the 7th inning. Schneider allows 2 hits in the 6th inning, now 2 hits in the 7th, and 1 hit in the 7th, 1 walk. Still nobody out. Trav's lead is 10 runs. Here's Dee Brown. Out to the mound going Kernan Rowing, good idea. Albert Pujols hit his 16th home run for the Cardinals. Darrell Ward hit his 7th for Pittsburgh. All the other games in the National League are currently in progress. Montreal leading Atlanta in the final of the night, 6-3. Andrew Jones hit his 12th home run of the year. Brad Wilkerson hit his 7th. Houston 5-3, leading at Chicago. 3 solo homers for the Cubs. Moises Alou, number 14. Todd Hollingsworth hit his 7th. Todd Walker with number 6. 2 homers for the Astros. Bagwell and Kent. Here is Brown at the plate, expressed by Schneider, and a pitch lined into left field for another base hit. Duncan will field it cleanly. The runners hold to 1 base apiece, and now they're loaded with nobody out for the cleanup man, Chad Santos.
First base, number 31, Chad Santos.
One of the first semblances of life from the Wichita Wranglers. They only scored 1 run so far, came in the 2nd inning. And now the Wranglers load the bases on Schneider with nobody out. Santos' average was .506. And the pitch, a strike, 0-2. Right on the knees on the outside corner. 2 pitchers now throwing in the pen. Marco Sullivan and Rich Fisher. Fisher with a perfect inning of relief yesterday. O'Sullivan took the loss on Sunday. 0-2. Schneider deal. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a slow breaking ball. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Schneider just looking to get out of the 7th and send us into the 8th. Here's Corey Aldridge. Aldridge has been on base 3 times today. 2 singles, 1 walk, and 1 run scored, plus a stolen base. Kamal at second, Jones at first, 3 runs in. Trav's lead by 7. And Aldridge takes high and away for a ball. Gets done at the 3-run inning here. Right, big comeback start with the smallest rally. Pitch outside, 2-0. Very important outing here for Scott Schneider. He's trying to Come back after a few rocky outings. He pitched well last time out, but he remains inconsistent. 2 balls, no strikes. Got to the belt, now to the plate, and it's ball 3 very high. Aldridge is the 8th batter that Schneider has pitched to this inning. He walked the leadoff batter, Terrell. Gotay and Brown singled to load the bases, and after a strikeout of Santos, Gamal had an infield single, and Jones with a 2-run single. And there's ball 4 high and away. The second walk of the inning by Schneider. That loads the bases once again. Number 9 hitter Andres Blanco steps in. Blanco knocked in the first run for Wichita with a single to left in the second. He also hit into a double play and popped out to short. Batting left-handed, he'll take a ball high and away from Schneider. Scott has walked 2 hitters in the 7th inning. He's given up 4 hits. 11-4 Travs in the last of the 7th. And Blanco has a pitch thrown behind him. It ricochets back to Del Chiaro and the runners hold. Boy, Scott Schneider is lucky. Very lucky. The backstop is padded pretty heavily. And the ball ricochets right back to the catcher. There's not much foul territory behind home plate. On the sides of the plate and down the baseline, there's a ton of foul territory, but not behind home. 2-0. Schneider's missed with 6 consecutive pitches. Blanco, a punch-and-judy hitter. He might force him to throw a strike. And ball 3 misses low. Schneider came into the game last inning, virtually no pressure on him as he was protecting at that point a 9-run lead. Travs made it a 10-run lead with a run to the 7th. And here's the 3-0 pitch. And that one missed ball 4. He misses with 8 consecutive pitches, and this is going to force Cy Boykin's hand. That walks in the 4th run of the inning. And Andres Blanco has all of 6 RBIs on the year and 1 extra base hit, walks a run home. And that is going to be it for Schneider. A very disappointing 7th inning as 9 men come to the plate against him. And Boykin is forced to go back into the bullpen. We're going to take a 60-second break, folks, brought to you by Fox Sports Southwest. And for the best in Major League Baseball action, tune in nightly to Fox Sports Net on Comcast. Not only does Fox Sports Net bring you the best big league matchups, there's also the latest highlights and home team coverage on the Southwest Regional Sports Report every night at 10. Comcast and Fox Sports Net are the #1 place for college baseball and Major League coverage. Check your local listings for Fox Sports Southwest. New pitcher coming on. It looks like Marco Sullivan will give you 60 seconds for Travs 11 and the Wranglers 5, with Wichita still threatening in the 7th. Back after this.
Remember the good old days before Fox Sports Net when you'd watch a sports report for like an hour before they even mentioned your hometown teams? And then if you blinked, you missed it? Sure, you remember. The good old days really sucked. Lately at 10, it's the Southwest Sports Report on Fox Sports Net. 34 minutes every night dedicated to the scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown team. Your team, your town, your show. The Southwest Sports Report at 10. Only on Fox Sports Net.
Here's the line to pitch on the way, and you can catch the Travs online at www.travs.com. The Arkansas Travelers have one of minor league baseball's most user-friendly websites with easy access to Travs game stories, up-to-date stats, Texas League standings. You'll be informed about the Travs online at travs.com. Purchase tickets, Travs souvenirs, listen to the game. Hey, if you could buy hot dogs and popcorn on the website, it'd be like coming to the old ballpark. See us online, www.travs.com.
Well, it doesn't look like this one's going to come as easy as we was expecting, folks. Travs led 11-1 going into the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Wranglers rally against Scott Schneider. They're batting around. Schneider missed with his last 8 pitches, walking the bases loaded and then forcing in a run. And now back to the top of the order, and Jim Terrell as he'll face off against Marco Sullivan. O'Sullivan hasn't been pitching very well recently. Gave up 3 runs in 2 innings on Sunday to suffer the loss, his first of the season. And his .646 earned run average in May, around a .362 batting average. Here's Carroll with the bases loaded. The Travs lead is down to 6. And a fly ball in the first pitch to left field falls in front of Duncan for a base hit. That'll score the run from third. Jones is safe at home. And the Travs lead is now down to 5 runs. 5 runs. 11 to 6. Marco Sullivan just has not been pitching well at all recently. That's the 26th base hit he's allowed in 12 innings. He's allowing a batting average of close to .450 in his last 9 games. That's another run charge to Schneider. He's given up 5 runs now in an inning and 2/3. Still responsible for runners at second and third. Aldrich at third. Blanco at second. Carroll at first. Gotay the batter. He's 3 for 4 today. He'll bat left-handed and take the first pitch outside from O'Sullivan. A 5-run inning in the 7th for Wichita. Here in the 7th, the 5 runs on 3 walks and 5 hits, 2 strikeouts. So when the ball's been put into play, they're making it on base. The 1-0 to Gotay, down and away, ball 2. You would hope 10 runs is enough. The stretch by O'Sullivan, the kick, the pitch, strike 1 at the letters, and a borderline call at that. Runners to their lead. Bases jammed, 2 outs. O'Sullivan kicks and deals. Check swing. The ball gets behind Del Chiaro, and that will score Aldrich. Now it's a 4-run lead for the Travs. Runners to second and third on a wild pitch on Marco Sullivan. And the count is 3-1. Goodness gracious. 6 runs have scored against the Pen in the 7th inning. On Gotay, Brown on deck. The pitch is sent down the left field line, slicing foul. Strike 2. Now Arkansas gets Steve Andrade warming up in the bullpen. Marco Sullivan throws fastballs in the mid-90s. Here comes the manager, Frank White, from the third base coaches area to talk with Gotay. We just went to about the edge of the batter circle, and White walks back towards the third base coaches area. Wonder what happened there. Gotay stepping back in. O'Sullivan throws so hard, but his pitches are either out of the strike zone or right down the middle. Gotay has been smoking the ball today. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4, down and in. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate. This is just amazing, folks. Absolutely amazing. Travs have a 10-run lead in the 7th inning. The Wranglers have scored 6. And now they have the tying run to the plate in the form of their best hitter, Dee Brown, who has home run power, 9 of them this year. O'Sullivan from the stretch, first pitch, in the dirt, blocked by Del Chiaro, ball 1. The first pitch O'Sullivan threw was to Jim Carroll, and he lined a single to left field to bring in Jones for the 5th run of the inning. O'Sullivan then threw a wild pitch to Gotay, which brought in Aldrich for the 6th run of the inning. Then he walked Gotay. Brown is 1 for 4, and the pitch outside. 2-0. if Mark O'Sullivan can't get out of this 7th inning, then I'm not sure where he belongs. The 2-0. Swinging a comebacker. Past him out into center. Blanco scores. Carroll scores. And it's now a 2-run lead for the Travs. Absolutely unbelievable. 11-9. Close the book on Schneider. He gives up 7 runs in an inning and 2/3, and now Carroll, who scored, is a run charge to O'Sullivan. He's faced 3 batters. 3 men have reached. The last 5 in a row have made it on base against this Travs bullpen. Here's Santos. Santos could put the Wranglers ahead with a home run. He could tie it with an extra base hit. Here's O'Sullivan's first pitch, and it's very high for a ball. Steve Andrade could not warm up quickly enough right now. He continues to throw in the bullpen. The Travs would rather use him in the 8th and then have him come back out for the 9th. Here's the 1-0 to Santos. Swing and a miss. What do you know? Strike 1. Is 10 runs enough for the Travs? A 10-run lead on the bottom of the 7th. 8 runs have come across for Wichita. Ball 2 from O'Sullivan, high and away. Over this series now, O'Sullivan, let's see, has faced 13 hitters. He's given up 5 hits and 3 walks, 1 homer, and now it's to Brown. Brown now 2 for 2 off of him. 2-1, Santos swings and fouls one back, 2-2. Boy, we were just cruising right along into the 7th inning. The Travs had seemingly put the game away. But they have relief pitchers. And those relief pitchers, unfortunately, can't get batters out consistently. 2-2. Big pitch here. And Santos takes ball 3 down and away. Santos is the 13th hitter of the 7th inning. The first 3 made it on base, and after the first out, 2 in a row. After the second out, 5 in a row. 3 on walks, for crying out loud. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runners go. The pitch is fouled off. Scott Schneider charged with 7 runs in an inning and 2/3. He has pitched a scoreless 6th inning. Then 7 of 9 batters make it on base against him in the 7th. 3 on walks, 4 on singles. And O'Sullivan stretching things to the limit now. The tying run is aboard at first. Go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Santos, who hit his 10th homer yesterday. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off, and Santos helped out O'Sullivan by swinging at ball 4. He went after a pitch high and outside. Gotay and Brown take their leads. O'Sullivan looking to send us into the 8th inning. And here comes the pitch. Swinging a line drive to left. Duncan is there to make the catch. Thank goodness. And the inning is over. The Wranglers rally for 8 runs on 7 base hits. The tying runs left aboard. The Travs now have a lead just 11-9. We're back for the 8th after these messages.
He joined the Air Force in 1964 and served in Vietnam. He commanded...
AgPro knows you're patient. You've had your eye on a certain green and yellow tractor for some time now. But here's a thought. Visit your local John Deere dealer for an innocent test drive. Sit in that yellow seat and feel that rugged quality. Then run the numbers. You may find you've underrated the value of a John Deere and overrated the value of patience. After all, nothing runs like a Deere. Test drive the John Deere of your choice today at Ag Pro Central Arkansas, 10504 Maumelle Boulevard, North Little Rock.
I am the port in the storm.
I am the line in the sand.
I am the rescuer in the dark.
I am the enforcer of the seas.
I am the defender of the homeland. In the United States Coast Guard and Coast Guard Reserve, you are the first line of defense against threats to our American way of life. To become one of us, call toll-free 1-877-NOW-USCG or visit GoCoastGuard.com.
We are the shield of freedom. We are the United States Coast Guard.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I feel it in my mouth, but there's no taste.
Okay, sir, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer.
Okay.
Walk straight to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less selling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Trav's bullpen gives up 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scott Schneider charged with 7 of them. Marco Sullivan gave up the other one. When we got into the bottom of the 7th inning, the Travs led 11-1. Now the lead is 11-9. New pitcher on for the Wranglers. Left-hander Billy Keppinger replaces Mike Natale, for neither bullpen has been effective today. Natale gave up 3 runs in 3 innings. He did strike out 4 batters, but gave up 7 hits. Keppinger, a soft-tossing lefty, a converted outfielder to pitcher. Travs saw Keppinger yesterday. Keppinger entered the game yesterday in the 8th inning, and he gave up the tying 2-run triple to Nick Gorneault. Apparently, the Travs are going to need at least a couple more runs. Jeff Mathis leads off the 8th inning. Keppinger 1-1. This is his 20th appearance, and Mathis sends a gap shot to right field, and that's down. It's rolled into the fence. Mathis is first, heading for second, and he stops at second with a double. That's the way to start the inning. And Mathis' second hit of the game and his 11th double of the year. Base hit number 15 for the Travs. Here's Rudy Gomez. Gomez is 2 for 4. Last trip to the plate hit the pop-up that Gotay and Santos did not communicate on, which fell for a hit. That run at second base for Mathis, boy, that is a very important run. Travs probably need another 10. Showing front, Gomez takes down and away for a ball. Looks like the Travs might be playing just to get Mathis in. Mike Elward on deck. He's got 2 hits today. Gomez squares around, pushes at the bunt, and misses. The catcher throws to second base, and the ball gets into center field. Mathis collided with Blanco. Jeff Mathis gets into third base. An ill-advised throw by Scott Walter. Mathis wasn't too far off the base. Mathis is now going to be forced to get back into second base. Well, Walters threw that ball, and Mathis dove back into second. He collided with Blanco. I'm not sure why he isn't allowed to go to third base. Perhaps runner's interference, but he's not called out. 1-1 on Gomez. Mathis still at second. Nobody out. That's a big run out there. The pitch, chopped foul by Gomez, not showing bunt. 1-2. Runs, 15 hits, and 1 error for the Travs. Wichita, 9 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors. 1-2 on Gomez. Keppinger deals, and it's inside. Did it hit Gomez? It did hit Gomez. He'll get first base. Jason Kaiser says it got him on his wrist. And that'll bring out Frank White. He wants to double check and make sure that it did hit him. Home plate umpire's not going to reverse his call. As they talk just left of home. White, a pretty cool customer. And now as they talk, Kaiser takes his mask off. Conversation's starting to heat up a little bit. They're still talking about it. It was a fastball right close to Gomez's hand. If it hits his hand, it's a foul ball. If it hits his wrist, he gets first base. And White will back away. The ruling stands. Hit batsman, men at first and second. Here's Mike Elworth. Travs 11, Wichita 9. If you're just tuning in after listening over the first 5 innings, yes, the Travs scored 11 runs in 7 innings, but the bullpen gave up 8 in the 7th. Into the batter's box, Elworth. Mike flying out his first 2 at-bats. He's had singles ever since, but he's going to square around. Throw to second by Keppinger, and Mathis back in. Corner infielders coming in. Runners take the lead. Mathis at second, Gomez at first. The stretch, Elworth squares. The pitch, Elworth bunts and gets it down in fair territory, picked up by the catcher, firing to first. And Elworth does his job. The sacrifice bunt moves the runners up. Mathis to third base, Gomez to second. The out at first goes 2-3. Del Chiaro up next. Brent is 1 for 4. He has struck out twice, singled and scored in the 4th. The Wranglers will bring the infield in, and Del Chiaro will be intentionally walked. Keppinger is going to intentionally walk Del Chiaro to set up a force play at every base. Keppinger is a control pitcher, so he only walked 5 batters in 30 innings this year. So you wouldn't anticipate him walking in a run, especially with the batter being Carlos Duncan, who's about as impatient of a hitter as they come. There's the third one. So the Travs get a bases-loaded spot. They've had chances to score the bases loaded in the 1st and 4th, and didn't waste either of them. Dallas McPherson knocked in 2 runs with the bases loaded in the 1st. Nick Gorneault cleared the bases with a double in the 4th. And here comes Duncan. Tonight, Duncan 1 for 4 with a 4th inning infield single. No grand slams this year for the Travs. And this is Duncan's first chance to hit with the bases juiced all year. The infield will play for 2. 1 out. Travs 11, Wranglers 9. Top of the 8th. Keppinger a lefty, Duncan a righty. The kick, the first pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Walter. Ball 1. Keppinger in his first inning of work. Replaced Natali, who was ineffective in 3 innings. Keppinger's fastball tops out at 82-83. His best pitch is a changeup and a slider. The stretch by Keppinger. And the pitch. Duncan takes ball 2. Nice eye. Tough pitch to take, especially since he throws that changeup just floating up there. And Duncan, a batter who is very aggressive. I'm surprised he took that one. But he's in a hitter's count. 2-0. At third base is Jeff Mathis. Gomez at second. Del Chiaro at first. And the pitch. Swinging on ground ball. Fair down the third base line. Mathis scores. Gomez will score. Del Chiaro hustling to third base, and he slams on the brakes. Duncan, a 2-run double, and the Travs have a little bit more breathing room. Now, a couple of the fans thinking that was foul. Trust us, folks, that was a fair ball. That was inside the bag at third by at least a foot. Duncan knocks in his 9th and 10th runs of the season. Huge at-bat by Carlos. And now runners at second and third with only one out. For the top of the order, Callaspo is 2 for 5. He is doubled and singled, and he takes the first pitch away from ball one. Neither bullpen doing much of a job today. The Travs 10 giving up 8 runs in the 7th. The Wranglers 10 has allowed 5 runs in 4 innings. Maybe they're taking notes from each other. Callaspo batting right-handed, takes a strike at the knee. 1-1. Steve Andrade is throwing in the Arkansas pen. Jonathan Rowenhurst is guarding him in front of the pitcher's mound out there. Here's the 1-1, and Alberto sends it high up the middle. Base hit to center. Del Chiaro scores the 3rd run of the inning. Duncan only makes it to 3rd. Travs 14, Wranglers 9. 3rd hit of the game for Callaspo, his 22nd RBI of the year. Still just 1 out, and the Travs continue to rally. But that bouncing ball up the middle, Duncan was not running as the pitch was hit. He usually has better base running instincts than that. It would probably been a good idea to run as soon as he saw the ball get past the mound. Murphy, the batter. Tommy has singled and doubled ever since the 4th inning. He's 2 for 3 today, batting right-handed, a swing and a miss on a curve. Strike 1. 14-9 Travs. They've taken back 3 of the runs that the pen allowed in the 7th. And Murphy, who knocked 2 runs home so far, looking for more damage. Change up from Keppinger, down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sloppy game today, folks. Sloppy like ground beef. 1-1 count. The pitch. Down and in, ball 2. When I say sloppy like ground beef, I mean sloppy Joe. And none of those vegetarian sloppy Joes. I'm talking the real thing. Tulsa has beaten Frisco 4-3. Jeff Francis wins his league-leading 8th of the season. They split that day-night doubleheader. The 2-1, ball 3 upstairs. That means that the standings remain the same now. Drillers tied with the Wranglers atop the East Division. Drillers at 27 and 24. That's the same record as Wichita. The Rough Riders drop back to 2.5 games out. Half a game back of the Travs for 3rd. Here's the 3-1, and that's a strike at the letters. Murphy couldn't believe that call. He was already past the plate, ready for first base. Now the count is full at 3-2. Travs, by the way, are still 2 games out. A win by the Travs here will bring them to within 1 game of first place. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes to second, and Murphy fouls one into the luxury level. Keeping it 3-2. Callaspo running with that pitch. Duncan holding steady at third base. Infield halfway up, but they're looking for a double play. Callaspo an average lead at first. Keppinger a long look at him. He'll lift the leg and throw to first base. And back is Callaspo. Midland 11, San Antonio nothing in the 9th. Round Rock now losing at El Paso 5-2 in the 6th inning. The Express looking for their 14th win in a row. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Murphy. Travs 14, Wranglers 9. Callaspo runs, and Murphy shoots one. Left center field. Chasing it is Brown. He makes the catch in the gap. The tagging from third is Duncan. He'll score the 4th run of the inning. Murphy with 3 RBIs, and the Travs are on top by 6. 15-9. Callaspo was running with that pitch. He got back to first. So we can loosen our belts a little bit now again, folks. The Travs are back in front by 6 runs. Two-run lead in the bottom of the seventh inning. To be honest, I didn't have any confidence. Here's Gorneault. Gorneault 1 for 5. That three-run double was a huge hit. He'll take a strike on the first pitch. Now we're going to see Andrade come in for the bottom of the eighth inning. Gorneault sends a pop-up behind the press box, out of play, strike 2. Speaking of Trav's relief pitchers who have had troubles, Cliff Smith took a loss yesterday in Rancho Cucamonga, giving up 3 runs in the third of an inning. So his troubles continue. Marco Sullivan is having the exact same problems Cliff Smith did. Not trusting his stuff. 0-2 to Nick in the dirt, ball 1. That's what makes it so frustrating when a pitcher like O'Sullivan does not get out. He throws 95 miles an hour. He's got a very live arm. You just question as to whether he knows how to use it. Marco Sullivan does not pitch like a pitcher with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. No matter what the coaches tell him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Callaspo running. Pitch is grounded towards shortstop, bouncing for Blanco. He'll backhand and throw to first. And end the inning. Trav sent 8 batters to the plate and scored 3 runs on 3 hits, leave 1 on base. They scored 4 runs, and the Travs are ahead 15-9. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Frank, what are you doing here? Wife sent me. We're out of Coke. You? Sorry. First one to aisle 5 like the other. Coke, you're on. Tell Tony Stewart you jumped the green flag again. Hey, stop throwing cereal boxes at me. Whatever, stop trapped in my car. Yeah, sir. Looks like you're buying me that Coke.
NASCAR fans have a one-track mind.
Case of Coke says I need you to register.
Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real.
Introducing fresh taste salads from Sonic. As in made to order by hand with care for your very own fresh taste salad. At Sonic, we make them the way you'd make them at home, if you have the time. We start with the freshest ingredients, add your choice of tender grilled chicken, crispy jumbo popcorn chicken, or Santa Fe grilled chicken. You even get your pick of your favorite Hidden Valley dressings. So try a new fresh taste salad from Sonic today. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
There's the line that's hitting on the way, and you can get to Travs online at www.travs.com. The Arkansas Travelers have one of minor league baseball's most user-friendly websites with easy access to Travs game stories, up-to-date stats, and Texas League standings. You'll be informed about the Travs online at travs.com. Purchase tickets, Travs souvenirs, listen to the game. Hey, if you could buy hot dogs and popcorn on the website, it'd be like coming to the old ballpark. See us online, www.travs.com.
You're listening to Arkansas Travelers Baseball on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. KDXE Northwest.
Steve Andrade comes on to pitch the 8th inning for the Travs. Arkansas put up a 4 spot on the top of the 8th inning to get back ahead by 6. The score is 15-9. Andrade replaces the ineffective Marco Sullivan, who faced 4 batters in the 7th and gave up 1 run on 2 hits. Gets credit for a third of an inning. And Andrade on to close this game for the Travs. He's going to pitch the 8th and the 9th, hopefully. Here's Justin Gamal leading off the 8th, 2 for 4 with an infield single twice. One of them for an RBI in the 7th inning. Andrade, right-hander with a first pitch curve. Gamal swings and misses. Strike 1. With Andrade, you always know you're going to get a lot of curveballs. No matter if he can throw them for strikes, he forced batters to go after it. This is his 3rd appearance with the Travs. He did pitch yesterday, a couple of scoreless innings. Gamal takes just inside on the slider. 1-1. Following Gamal, Jaime Jones and Scott Walter. Walter, the only Wranglers player without a hit today. He's 0 for 4. Gamal has struck out twice. The 2 infield singles, RBI, run scored, 1 steal. Andrade, a high stretch It's 1-1. Is inside, ball 2. Ervin Santana was the starting pitcher, still in line for the win. Gave up only 1 run, scattering 6 hits and 2 walks over 5 innings. He struck out 6 batters. Andrade's 2-1 to Gamal. Swung on, hit in the air to center, right to Tommy Murphy, frozen in his tracks. He's got it, 1 away. Scott Snyder came on for the 6th inning and held the Wranglers scoreless in the 6th, leaving 2 men on base. But then the 7th inning was a disastrous inning for the Travs. Snyder allowed the first 3 runners on base to load him off, but he struck out Santos. Gamal's infield single to third slated the first run of the inning. Gotay and Brown scored on a base hit to right by Jaime Jones. And after the second out, Snyder walked Aldridge to load the bases and forced in another run by walking Blanco. That brought on O'Sullivan. Here's Jones, and Andrade misses low and away. Ball 1. O'Sullivan's first pitch was hit by Carroll in the left field for an RBI. Then Mark walked Ruben Gotay to bring up Dee Brown, who was the tying run. He singled 2 runs home up the middle. That meant the tying run was on base. Pitch outside to Jones, 2-0. And even the 1 out that O'Sullivan recorded was on a hard-hit liner by Chad Santos. Thankfully, Mark got out of that inning, and Andrade comes on. 2-0 the count on Jones. He's 1 for 4. Left-handed batter takes a strike over the outside corner, and it's 2-1. We promised some American League scores. Here are the finals. Minnesota all over Tampa Bay, 16-4. Corey Kosky, 2 homers. Matthew LeCroy, Jock Jones, and Torrey Hunter hit homers. Rob Fick and Tino Martinez send him out for the D-Rays. The stretch. Andrade kicks his 2-1 pitch. It's foul, past first on the ground, strike 2. 12 innings in Texas. Rod Barajas wins the game with a top of the 12th homer, his second of the game. 6-5 Rangers over Cleveland. That ends the Tribe's 4-game winning streak. Erasmo Ramirez picked up his 3rd win. Francisco Gorneault saved his 17th. The Royals scored 2 in the 9th inning as they beat the Tigers 5-3. Former Wrangler Jeremy Appelt saved his 4th of the season. In progress currently, the Yankees lead Baltimore 8-3. The Yankees are tied with the Red Sox atop the East Division. Red Sox up on Anaheim 2-1 to the top of the 3rd. Kevin Millar hit his 4th homer. White Sox trail Oakland 2-1 to the bottom of the 5th. And it's 2-2. Seattle and Toronto are in the 3rd. Give you the rest of the scores during the postgame show. 2-2 pitch to Jones. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Andrade takes care of him. One thing Steve Andrade can do is make the batters miss the pitch. Does that quite a bit. Strikeout number 4 in 4 innings for him with the Travs when he was up at AAA this season. Andrade still came through with his a lot of strikeouts, 13 2/3 innings, 17 Ks. Over his career, 231 strikeouts in 157 innings. That's a lot of Ks. Scott Walter is K'd twice, and he takes the pitch upstairs for a ball. 15-9 is your score. The Travs are in the lead. And the stretch was 2 outs. The base is empty. Speed 1-0. Swing and a miss. Got a fastball by Walter. 1 ball, 1 strike. High-scoring affair tonight. The teams combining for 24 runs on 30 hits and 4 errors. Here's the 1-1. And that's down the middle on a slider called strike 2. One and 2 on Walter. The pitch. Swinging a foul away. Even with the Travs leading by 11-1 into the bottom of the 7th, there still has not been a perfect inning thrown by a Travs pitcher today. In fact, there hasn't been a perfect inning thrown by either team. Wouldn't it just be nice to get a 1-2-3 inning here? I think that'd be golden. Andrade ahead in the count, 1 and 2, 2 outs. It pitched to Walter, and it hit him. So much for the perfect inning. Took a fastball off his elbow, and Walter makes it on base for the first time today. Hip-hop Corey Aldridge steps in. He's had a perfect game offensively. Been up to the plate 4 times, been on base 4 times. 2 singles, 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and 1 steal. Aldridge, a left-handed batter with a runner at first. That's Scott Walter. He's not going anywhere. Very short lead. Elward still holds him on. Andrade from the stretch. A curve downstairs. Andrade leans in. That right arm dangling down below his left knee. He gets the sign. He's ready. Andrade kicks, delivers a fastball. It's fouled off the end of the bat. Moving the count to 1-1 on Corey Aldridge. Aldridge loaded the bases by taking a walk against Scott Schneider in the 7th inning on 4 pitches. He scored Wichita's first run back in the 2nd. 1-1 strike, and the pitch from Andrade, curve, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Aldridge back in. The catcher sets up inside. The pitch a curve, outside. Andrade missed his spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. About 3 hours and 15 minutes into the game. And at the bottom of the 8th inning, the Travs lead 15-9. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andrade deals. Strikes him out, swinging on a fastball, and that'll end the 8th. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left for the Wranglers. We played 8 and a crazy game. The Travs lead 15-9.
Coffee leaking, termites feasting, listen, tackle, piece and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Now in lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Not the other book.
You're bored. Nothing to do. Nothing on the tube. The same old blah, blah, blah. Arkansas Travelers Baseball is here for its new season. Great professional baseball, great food, and the most affordable entertainment in Arkansas. So get off your seat and get out of the house for baseball and a whole lot more. Look for special promotions and free tickets at local retailers for the best deal in town. Arkansas Travelers Baseball. Call 664-1555 or log on to Travs.com.
8 innings in the books at Lawrence Dumont Stadium here. Your totals after 8. The Travs with 15 runs on 17 hits, 1 error. The Wranglers have scored 9 runs on 13 hits and 3 errors. Bill Elson with you here at the old ballpark along the banks of the Arkansas River. Downtown Wichita right across from us. Beautiful night here, but a pretty ugly game. Billy Kempinger remains in relief for the Wranglers. Gave up 4 runs in the 8th. And the Travs in the 9th inning sent Dallas McPherson to lead off with Mathis and Gomez to follow. McPherson gets his 6th at-bat of the game. Knocked in the first 2 Trav runs with a single in the first. Also had an RBI single in the 4th. 2 strikeouts of Dallas, 1 fly to center. Having a great series with 3 RBIs today. He's knocked in 7 in the series in 3 games with 2 homers. And McPherson leads off here against Keppinger, lefty versus lefty, and a swing and a miss on the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 count on McPherson. Keppinger deals, and a swing and a miss again. Slow breaking ball. There has been an official scoring change for those of you who actually do score at home. Jaime Jones's two-run single in the seventh inning was changed as an error, charged to Rudy Gomez. McPherson pops up behind third and into foul territory. Gamal makes the catch. One away, and McPherson will finish the game at 2-6. Going to bring up Mathis. Couple hits for Jeff as the DH. 2 RBIs, a solo homer in the third. Sac fly in the first. Started off the 8th inning rally with a double to right center and later scored on the 2-bagger by Carlos Duncan. First pitch, Jeff takes down and in for ball 1. Keppinger, the third pitcher for Wichita. Tamayo lasted 4 innings, gave up 8 runs on 7 hits. Mathis a foul ball back this way, 1-1. Natali gave up 3 runs on 7 hits in 3 innings. Keppinger allowed 4 runs on 3 hits in the 8th. Now looking to get through the 9th inning. And the pitch. Popped up into the first base seat, strike 2. When we get to the bottom of the 9th inning, Steve Andrade will come back on. It'll be Andres Blanco leading off with Jim Terrell and Ruben Gotay after him. Wranglers got back into the game, scoring 8 runs in the 7th inning. 7 of them charged to Scott Schneider. Here's the 1-2. Mathis takes low and in on a curve. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Most of the fans that came to the ballpark are gone. No announced attendance yet. Pretty quick to announce when you have a crowd over 5,000. Get a crowd of under 300, and suddenly no attendance announced. Mathis is swinging and miss, strike 3, 2 outs.
Second base number 20, Rudy Gomez.
Brings up Rudy Gomez. Gomez was charged with an error in the 7th inning. At the plate today, Rudy 2 for 4 was hit by a pitch in the 8th and scored. And he sends a bouncing ball towards the right side. Gotay gloves it. Now he loses it, gloves it again in midair, and still throws Gomez out. That's a 1-2-3 inning, folks. And the first one we've seen today. A foreign thing. 15-9, the Travs lead. Is 6 runs enough? We'll answer that question in the bottom of the 9th after this.
Did you know that more than 95% of the population wear the wrong size shoes? Did you know that your foot grows your whole lifetime? When was the last time you had your foot measured? Wearing the wrong size shoes is the #1 cause of foot problems. Come into Top Shoes and let us measure your feet and fit you properly. If your feet hurt or you don't want your feet to hurt, come into Tops. And while you're at it, join our Tip Top Shoppers Club and receive free shoes.
Introducing Fresh Taste Salads from Sonic. Has been made to order by hand with care for your very own Fresh Taste Salads. At Sonic, we make them the way you'd make them at home, if you had the time. We start with the freshest ingredients, add your choice of tender grilled chicken, crispy jumbo popcorn chicken, or Santa Fe grilled chicken. You even get your pick of your favorite Hidden Valley dressings. So try a new Fresh Taste Salad from Sonic today. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Frank, what are you doing here? Wife said me we're out of Coke. You? Sorry. First one to aisle 5, buys the other a Coke. Yeah, you're on. Yo, Tony Stewart, you jumped the green flag again. Hey, stop throwing cereal boxes at me. Whatever, stop trapping my car. Yeah, good talk. Looks like you're buying me that Coke.
NASCAR fans have a one-track mind.
Case of Coke says I need you to register.
Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real.
Last chance for the Wichita Wranglers as the Travs hold a 6-run cushion, 15-9, and then we move to the bottom of the 9th. Steve Andrade retired the side in the 8th inning, allowing one batter to reach on a hit batsman. And no save situation, but certainly feels like one considering how close the Wranglers got from trailing by 10. They made it a 2-run deficit. Travs scored 4 runs in the 8th inning and gave a little more breathing room. Leading off in the 9th, Andres Blanco. Blanco, a switch hitter, bats left-handed. He's 1 for 3. First 2 RBI game of the season, and a swing and a miss on a curve. Strike 1. Blanco was walked with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. He later scored on the 2-run single by Dee Brown. Andrade's 0-1. Change up, it's outside, 1-1. Andrade, the 4th Travs pitcher. And he'll look to give the Travs their 2nd consecutive win and even the record. At 26-26, the 1-1 is low. Ball 2. Now a big question for tomorrow. I have to look ahead at tomorrow, of course. Corey Lee is making the start for the Travs. His pitch count was 65 last game, and it's probably going to be the same again. So who comes on after that? Who do the Travs have that can go out there and get some innings? Probably see Rich Fisher tomorrow. Here's the 2-1 and a called strike, 2-2. Now, the point I'm making is that tomorrow the Travs should not expect to get many innings from the starter because of Lee's low pitch count. Well, the bullpen's going to have to get out tomorrow. Blanco chases one and just got a piece of it. Travs ahead. They led 11-1 heading into the bottom of the 7th. Andrade struck out 2 batters in the 8th. And here's the 2-2. Blanco swings a shot towards left center field. Duncan was playing very shallow, and it gets over his head. The 2nd extra base hit of the season for Andres Blanco. He stops at 2nd with a double. Carlos Duncan was playing only about 20 feet past the infield. So Blanco, who is an opposite field hitter, put it over his head. Easy 2-bagger. Blanco having one of his better games offensively. 2 for 4. 2 RBIs, a walk, a run scored, and a double. Now back to the top of the order, and Jim Terrell. Terrell 2 for 4. Couple of singles, 2 runs scored, and a run batted in. And he'll take a pitch low, ball 1. Terrell started the 7th inning rally by taking a leadoff walk from Schneider. He was the first batter O'Sullivan faced, and he sent his first pitch for a line drive single to left to knock a run home. Runner at 2nd, Blanco. The pitch to Terrell. He swings a little chopper foul outside of first. A ball and a strike on the left-handed hitting Jim Terrell. He did not play in the first 2 games. Came into today's action batting .230. Andrade ready. Blanco a short lead at 2nd. The 1-1. Downstairs, ball 2. 31 base hits between these two teams. The 2-1, Terrell takes ball 3. High and outside. Del Chiaro out to the mound to talk with Andrade. Travs pitchers have walked 6 batters, hit another. Wrangler pitchers have walked 3, hit 1. We have had a lot of base runners today. This has not been a pretty game. 3-1 the count on Terrell. Nobody out of the bottom of the 9th. Andrade, the stretch, the kick, the pitch, Swinging the bouncing ball to the right side. Off the line, Elworth plays it. Nice flip to first. Andrade beats the runner to base. And he gets the first out of the inning. 3-1 goes the play. And on to third is Blanco. Elworth showing to be a pretty adept first baseman. Made sure he stayed in front of the ball. It would have been an easy try to backhand, but instead, Elworth shuffled into the gap between first and second. And stayed in front of the ball instead. Here's Ruben Gotay. Gotay has made it on base 4 consecutive plate appearances, 3 singles and 1 walk. The only time he was set down today was the first inning at bat when he lined out to Elworth. Runner at third base, Travs ahead 15-9. 1 out, bottom 9. Gotay will take Andrade's first pitch below the knees on a curve. 1-0. Infield back, they'll give up the run for a ground out. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a bouncing ball up the middle, a base hit to center. The Wranglers get their 10th run on Gotay's 4th hit.
Left fielder 27, Dee Brown.
15-10 now as Andrade gives up the run in the 9th. Dee Brown is the next batter. Brown had 2 singles in the 7th inning. Scored a run, not 2 home. He's 2 for 5 today. Left-handed batter. A runner at first. 1 out. And Andrade from the stretch. Fastball missing outside. Cam Esslinger has started to throw in the Travs pen. The stretch by Andrade. The pitch. A strike on a fastball. Let her high. 1-1 on Dee Brown. Infield looks for a double play. We could use that to get out of the game. The 1-1. Curveball. He popped him up. Shallow left. Dunk in. Drifting towards the line. Plenty of room and makes the catch in fair territory. 2 outs in the 9th inning. And the Wranglers, who came back with 8 runs in the 7th inning, are right now 5 runs short. Chad Santos, the batter. Santos made 2 outs in the 7th inning, striking out against Schneider, and he lined to left field, caught by Duncan to end the inning. Santos, who is the team's leading home run hitter, could not bring either of the 2 runs home in, the tying run on base. And the first pitch shot to second, one-hand stab by Gomez, and he flips to first. And this game, thankfully, is over. The Travs win it 15-10 and make it 2 wins in a row. And you can put it in the books. Great offensive game for the Travs, but the pitching, especially the bullpen, left something to be desired. But hey, they get out of here with a victory, and the Travs back to an even 500 record at 26-26. We're going to take a break. We'll return with the Allstate Insurance postgame report here on the Ticket, Total Sports 1380.
That tailgate guy, we all know him. He's the guy whose car is always way too close for comfort. He honks. He flashes his beams. Now, sure, you can teach him a lesson by slamming on your brakes, but you're a safe driver. So you let him pass, hoping that somewhere down the road, a little speed trap is waiting to greet him. You see, you know that it's people like that tailgate guy that cause accidents. Accidents that can raise everyone's insurance rates. At Allstate, they think you deserve to be rewarded for not stooping to his level. So if you've got a safe record, Allstate can save you up to 25% off your auto insurance. Safe drivers cost everyone less. They should pay less. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
For more information, visit your local Allstate agent. Call 1-800-ALLSTATE or click on Allstate.com. Allstate, proud sponsor of the 2004 U.S. Olympic team. Discounted insurance offered only with select companies and subject to availability and qualifications. Discount amount may be lower and applies to most major coverages. Allstate Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Norfolk, Illinois.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I feel it in my mouth.
smells, but there's no taste. Okay, sir, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer. Okay. Walk straight to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Okay. Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less selling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And welcome back to Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Baseball fans, the Arkansas Travelers make it 2 in a row with a 15-10 beating of the Wichita Wranglers. Welcome to your Allstate Insurance postgame report, brought to you by Allstate. The good folks over there want you to know you deserve a relationship with a real person. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands? Well, the Travs started off with a 3-run rally in the first inning, thanks to a couple of errors by the Wichita infield. Alberto Callaspo sent the first at-bat of the game, twisting towards first, where Chad Santos misplayed it into a two-base error. Danny Tamayo then walked Tommy Murphy, and Nick Gorneault sent a short double play ball to the third baseman, Justin Gamal. But Gamal kicked it for an error, allowing the bases to be loaded for Dallas McPherson. And the way Dallas is hitting now, he did not waste this scoring opportunity. He's trying to slow things down. The stretch, the pitch, swinging a line drive, center field, and that is down. Base hit. Here comes Callaspo to score. Murphy around third to score. 2-0 Travs, and McPherson takes over the league lead at RBIs. That meant he had 42 runs batted in, actually 43 runs batted in after that 2-run single. Jeff Mathis would hit a sac fly to center field, bringing in Gorneault for a 3-run lead. Starting pitcher Ervin Santana for the Travs pitched around a couple of hits in the first inning, left them both on base. But after 2 outs in the second, gave up a single to Corey Aldridge, who stole second and scored on a base hit by Andres Blanco to left field. So the Travs lead was 3-1 after the second inning. In the third inning, Tamayo called McPherson out on strikes. The ran a count to 3-0 on Jeff Mathis. Travs like to hit on a 3-0 count if they get a good pitch to hit, and Tamayo gave Mathis something to hit. Best season 2002. Mathis a drive to left field. Back Brown, still going back, and it is out of here. Home run number 8 on the season for Jeff Mathis, and the Travs back in front by 3. 4-1 at that point, Travs leading. Mathis, who was ejected from yesterday's ball game, coming back with a vengeance today, finished the game with 2 hits and 2 runs batted in. Travs seemingly put the game away in the 4th inning. Consecutive leadoff singles by Brent Del Chiaro and Carlos Duncan. A 1-out walk by Tommy Murphy loaded the bases for Nick Gorneault. Gorneault is 1 for 5 with the bases loaded. And here's the 1-0. He swings and rips it down the third base line. Fair ball. Here comes Del Chiaro and Duncan to score. Here comes Murphy around third to score. To second base is Gorneault, and the Travs get ahead 7-1. Clear the bases. Nick Gorneault drives in 3. 33 RBIs in the season for Gorneault. He ties McPherson for the team lead in doubles with his 15th of the season. Travs at that point cruising, and they added 2 more runs in the 5th inning on an RBI single by Tommy Murphy and a wild pitch from Danny Tamayo, which scored Mike Elwert, so the Travs were ahead 10-1 after 5. They made it 11-1 in the 7th, and Tommy Murphy doubled to score Alberto Callaspo, who was singled against Mike Natale. 11-1 lead for the Travs. And Scott Schneider had come on for the 6th inning, pitched a scoreless inning as Santana left the game after the 5th, allowing 6 hits and 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Again, Schneider surrendered 2 runners in a scoreless 6th inning, but the Wranglers would rally big time in the 7th, but mostly because the Travs relievers were having trouble throwing good strikes. Schneider walked Jim Terrell to start the inning. Ruben Gotay singled and Dee Brown then singled to load the bases with nobody out. Schneider did come back to strike out Chad Santos. Justin Gamal then hit a hot shot towards the hole at shortstop. Dallas McPherson able to knock it down, but couldn't get it out anywhere. That scored Terrell with the first run of the inning. Jaime Jones then hit a hard grounder towards second and rolled up Rudy Gomez's arm and into right field for a 2-run error. And after that, Schneider struck out Scott Walter for the second out. Then Schneider lost his command completely, throwing 8 pitches out of the strike zone, walking Aldridge on 4 pitches to load the bases, and he walked Blanco on 4 pitches to force in the 4th run of the inning. That was it for Schneider. He left in the 7th inning, allowing 6 hits and 3 walks. Then Marco Sullivan came on. He faced Jim Terrell. Terrell singled on the first pitch to left field. That brought in Jaime Jones with the 5th run of the inning. The Travs lead at that point was 10-6. Then O'Sullivan walked Ruben Gotay to bring up the tying run in the form of Dee Brown. And Brown, who had a game-tying 2-run homer off of O'Sullivan 2 days ago, would bring in 2 more runs with a single here. Then I'm not sure where he belongs. The 2-0. Swinging a comebacker past the mound into center. Blanco scores. Terrell scores. And it's now a 2-run lead for the Travs. Brown knocked in his 4th and 5th runs of the series, and he represented the tying run. He was at first base. Marco Sullivan then faced Chad Santos. He got Santos to line out to left field with Carlos Duncan making a leaping catch, ending the inning. That was the closest the Wranglers would get as the Travs put the game away in the 8th inning against Billy Keppinger. Jeff Mathis started with a double to right center. Keppinger then hit Rudy Gomez with a 2-strike pitch. Mike Elworth bunted the runners up, and Del Chiaro was intentionally walked to load the bases for Carlos Duncan. So is Jeff Mathis. Gomez at second, Del Chiaro at first. And the pitch. Swinging on ground ball, fair down the third base line. Mathis scores. Gomez will score. Del Chiaro hustling to third base, and he slams on the brakes. Duncan, a 2-run double, and the Travs have a little bit more breathing room. That was a 2-run double. They scored 2 more runs on a single by Alberto Callaspo and a sac fly from Tommy Murphy. So the Travs scored 4 runs in the 8th inning to put the game away. They led 15-9 at that point. Steve Andrade pitched a scoreless 8th, gave up a run in the 9th. No save for Steve. The Travs hold on for dear life. 15-10, the final score. The winning pitcher is Santana. His record 2-0. The losing pitcher is Tamayo. His record 2-4. Travs now get back to an even 500 record at 26-26, while the Wranglers fall to 27-25. We're going to take a look around the Texas League and both major leagues on the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard. That's after this break on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Frank, what are you doing here? Wife sent me. We're out of Coke. You? Sorry. First one to aisle 5 like the other. Coke. Yeah, you're on. Yo, Tony Stewart, you jumped the green flag again. Hey, stop throwing cereal boxes at me. Whatever, stop trapped in my car. Walter. Looks like you're buying me that Coke.
NASCAR fans have a one-track mind.
Case of Coke says I need you to register.
Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coke, real.
Introducing fresh taste salads from Sonic. As in made to order by hand with care for your very own fresh taste salads. At Sonic, we make them the way you'd make them at home, if you had the time. We start with the freshest ingredients, add your choice of tender grilled chicken, crispy jumbo popcorn chicken, or Santa Fe grilled chicken. You even get your pick of your favorite Hidden Valley dressings. So try a new fresh taste salad from Sonic today. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Welcome back to Wichita's Lawrence Dumont Stadium, folks. Bill Elson here with you on the ticket. Total Sports 1380. Travs win this game by the final score of 15-10. 15 runs, 17 hits, 1 error for the Travs. And the Wichita Wranglers at 10 runs on 15 hits and 3 errors. With the win, the Travs take a lead in the season series 10-7. They win the first half division series against Wichita, and that could come up pretty huge, as if the Travs end up tying the Wranglers for first place, the Travs would win the division by virtue of a better record against the opponent. Full slate of games in the Texas League today. Let's get to that out-of-town scoreboard. We begin with the first game of a doubleheader in Tulsa. The Frisco Rough Riders and Drillers played a split doubleheader, 2 9-inning games. Rough Riders win in the first game 3-1. Stephen Rowe, the winner, he's 4-0. Erasmo Ramirez took the loss. That's Emmanuel Ramirez taking the loss. He's 1-4. Billy Sylvester saves his 7th. 1 homer. Tulsa's Ryan Seeley hit his 8th. Drillers come back to win the second game 4-3. Jeff Francis with a perfect 8-0 record as Francis defeats the Rough Riders. He goes 8 innings, striking out 14 batters. Amazing. Francis now leading the Texas League with 101 strikeouts, if I am adding this up correctly. I just want to make sure I get this one right. Francis, a lefty with great stuff. That's 91 strikeouts on the season. The second best strikeout total is 65. So he picks up win number 8 on the season. Ryan Spire almost blew the save. giving up 2 runs in the ninth, but he does save his 17th. Homer by Juan Pinella of the Drillers, his 6th of the season, and the Drillers and the Rough Riders split that doubleheader. Elsewhere in the Texas League, the Round Rock Express have their winning streak snapped at 13. El Paso beats them 6-3 at Cohen Stadium. And Midland shuts out San Antonio 12-0 on 6 base hits. Midland third baseman Mark Tian hit his 6th home run of the season. Brent Colamarino hit his first, a 3-run shot. 19 hits for the Rockhounds, 6 for the Missions. Brad White picked up the win. He scattered 4 hits and 6 walks over 7 innings. Kyle Crowell and Mike Oakwith with a scoreless inning each. Troy Case took the loss for the Missions, giving up 10 runs on 5 walks and 12 hits in 3 2/3. He dropped to 2 and 4, and the Missions were relegated to using Rob Gandolfo, a position player, to pitch the final inning. So those are the Texas League scores. The standings heading into tomorrow will look like this, and it might be a little bit confusing. The Drillers and the Wranglers remain tied for first place, identical records. Actually, it's going to be, the Wranglers are going to be a half game out of first place at 27 and 25. Drillers remain the first place team at 27 and 24. The Travs at 26 and 26 will be a game and a half out of first place, while Frisco is in fact at 2.5 games out. So 2.5 games separate the first from last place team. The West Division, a little bit different. 10.5 games separating first place Round Rock from second place Midland, and El Paso is 20.5 games out. San Antonio is 13.5 games out. Now to the Major League final scores. In the National League, it was the Reds winning in 10 innings at Florida, 7-6. Adam Dunn, a pair of homers, including a solo shot of the 10th. Ken Griffey hit his 14th. Brian Reese, the winner. Danny Graves saves his Major League leading 25th. Mets over the Phillies at Citizens Bank Ballpark, 4-1 in 10 innings. Todd Steele and Vance Wilson hit homers. Steele, former Trav, hit his 4th of the year. Ricky Vitalico, the winner, is 2-0. Braden Looper saved his 9th. Tim Morrell suffers his 2nd loss, drops to 1-2. Cardinals get a homer from Albert Pujols, his 16th of the year, an 8-1 whipping of the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Jeff Dupont picked up his 5th win of the season. Ryan Vogelsong drops to 1-5. Pittsburgh scores their only run on a solo homer by Darrell Ward, his 7th. The Atlanta Braves storm back and beat the Montreal Expos 7-6. 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning for the Atlanta Braves as they come from behind for the victory. J.D. Drew and Andrew Jones hit home runs, as well as Nick Green. The winning run scored on the 2-out solo homer by J.D. Drew to end the ball game. Nick Green's 2-out 3-run homer against Rocky Biddle provided the tying run. Rocky Biddle takes the loss as the Expos fall to a record of 16-35, worst record in the National League. Staying in the National League, the Houston Astros 5-3 winners against the Cubbies. That'll push Houston to gain in front of the Cubs for second place. They're 2.5 in back of the Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals will remain tied at 2.5 in back of Cincinnati. Staying in the National League, these games in progress. The Giants look for their 11th straight win. They're tied with Arizona at 5. Steve Finley with a pair of home runs. He has 16 on the year to lead the National League. Scott Harrison hit his 3rd for Arizona. Colorado 7-1, leading San Diego in the bottom of the 6th. Milwaukee leads Los Angeles 1-0 in the 6th inning. Milwaukee getting the only run of the game on a solo homer from Scott Kucenik. Now in the American League, the Yankees hold on for an 8-7 victory against Baltimore. The Orioles scored 4 times in the 9th inning. Mariano Rivera saved his 19th. Mike Mussina, the winner, is 6-4. Derek Jeter, a pair of homers, now is 6 on the year. Jorge Posada and Hideki Matsui each hit their 9th of the season. Kansas City scored 2 in the 9th to beat the Tigers in Detroit 5-3. Jason Grimsley under his 3rd win of the season. Esteban Yan, the loser, is 0-1. Jeremy Afto, the former Wrangler, saved his 4th. Texas wins in 12 innings at Cleveland 6-5. Rod Barajas, a pair of homers, including the deciding run with a homer in the top of the 12th. Erasmo Ramirez got the win. His record's 3-2. Rondell White suffers his first loss. He's 2-1. That's not Rondell White. Minnesota 16-4 beating of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. The D-Rays had as many errors as they had runs scored. 4. 5 homers for the Twins. 2 from Corey Kofke, 1 each from Corey Hunter, Jock Jones, and Matthew Lecroy. Carlos Silva picks up the win. Paul Abbott, the loser. Martinez and Fick homer for the Devil Rays. In progress currently in the bottom of the 7th, it's the Oakland Athletics 4 and the Chicago White Sox 1. Canerco homers for the Sox. Jermaine Dye hits his 10th for Oakland, and Toronto and Seattle tied at 4 in the top of the 5th. Anaheim Angels currently trail the Boston Red Sox 4-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kevin Millar hit his 4th home run of the season. Anaheim has Sean Figgin starting in center. He's 1 for 1. Casey Kochman doubled to run home. And also Jeff Devannon with an RBI single. Bartolo Colon has given up 4 runs in 4 innings, struck out 7 batters. You are now up to date across the major leagues and the Texas League thanks to the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard. Don't forget you can always log on for both fares online at www.southwest.com. We wrap things up on the Travs 15-10 win against the Wranglers after this break on the ticket. Total Sports 1380.
Americans are used to paying a little more for convenience. $5 extra for the guy to bring the pizza to your house. A higher price tag on the aspirin at the convenience store. But Allstate actually charges you less to make things more convenient. If you insure your house and your car with Allstate, you'll save money. Up to 10% off the auto bill and 15% off the home insurance. If you ever need to use that insurance, you'll have the convenience of having only one agent to call. The Allstate home and auto discounts. More convenient, more reasonable. You shouldn't have to pay more for convenience. That's Allstate's stand. Are you in good hands?
Find out. Visit your local Allstate agent. Call 1-800-ALLSTATE or click on Allstate.com. Allstate, proud sponsor of the 2004 U.S. Olympic team. Discounted insurance offered only with select companies and subject to availability and qualifications. Discount amounts may be lower. Allstate Insurance Company and Allstate Indemnity Company, North Park, Illinois.
Of all the days of the week, it seems that Mondays are everybody's least favorite day. Well, the Travs and the Arkansas Democrat Gazette have a reason for baseball fans to look forward to Mondays. That's because Mondays are Democrat Gazette family night here at the ballpark. You just pick up a copy of Monday's Democrat Gazette, and you'll find a discount family ticket right there in the sports section. That's right. It's a coupon that admits the whole family for just $2 a person. Hey, Mondays don't sound so bad anymore.
Long game tonight out here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium for 9 innings. We played 3 hours and 28 minutes. But it was worth it as the Travs beat the Wranglers 15-10 for their second consecutive win and start off the month of June on a positive note. Travs bashed out 17 hits today for 15 runs. They had committed 1 error. Arkansas left 9 runners on base. The Wranglers 10 runs, 15 hits, 3 errors, 12 men left on. The winning pitcher is Ervin Santana. He's 2-0. Danny Tamayo drops to 2-4. There was no save. Again, the time of game 3 hours 28 minutes. Paid attendance 1,082. Travs record up to 26-26. They will win the first half season series against the Wranglers, as the Travs have now taken 10 of 17 games. And the Wranglers drop to 27-25. With the victory, the Travs are now a game and a half out of first place behind the Tulsa Thrillers. They're half a game in back of the Wranglers for second place, and they'll look to get out of Wichita tomorrow by taking the last 3 games of this 4-game series. First, our BC Powder player of the game. It'll be a tough call as every single Trav reached base at least once on a hit. Alberto Callaspo led the attack with 3 hits and 3 runs scored. Nick Gorneault had a big hit, a 3-run double. Carlos Duncan had another big hit, a 2-run double to put the game away in the 8th inning. Dallas McPherson with 3 more runs batted in. Ruben Gotay led the attack for Wichita with 4 base hits. So we do have a lot of candidates for the BC Powder player of the game. But why don't we go ahead and award that to Alberto Callaspo for scoring 3 runs, knocking in another, and it'll be Alberto Callaspo with 3 hits, 3 runs scored, 1 RBI as the BC Powder player of the game. Honorable mention for McPherson, as well as Tommy Murphy, Nick Gorneault, and Ruben Gotay. BC Powder is the official pain reliever of the Arkansas Travelers because BC gets into your system fast, therefore it goes to work fast. For headaches, backaches, or muscle pain, nothing is faster than DC. Use as directed. We'll get out of this ballpark tomorrow as the Travs and Wranglers finish up this 4-game series. It'll be the final game the Travs play against an Eastern Division opponent until the second half of the season. Starting pitchers tomorrow, Corey Lee for the Travs. No wins, no losses. He allowed 1 run in 3 innings in his only start of the season. And it'll be Junior Herndon pitching for the Wranglers. 5 wins, 3 losses, 3.67 ERA. We've got your first pitch tomorrow at 7 o'clock at night. That means the ITT Tech pregame show is live at 6:40 here on the Ticket. Total Sports 1380. Big thanks to Hannah Ryan back at the studios. This is Phil Elson. So long and have a great night. As tonight, the Arkansas Travelers beat the Wichita Wranglers by the final score of 15-10. Folks, that's a wrap. We'll be talking baseball again tomorrow night.
You've been listening to Arkansas Travelers Baseball on the Ticket. Total Sports 1380. Arkansas Travelers Baseball is made possible by Miller Lite, ITT Technical Institute, Coca-Cola, Sonic Drive-In, BC Powder, and by Allstate Insurance. Be sure to catch all of the Travs games this year on the Ticket. Total Sports 1380.